One more second. Something totally flippin' went wrong with that. We're going to do the intro.
If you had a job where you come to work and people clap for you, it would change your entire mood.
Wakanda forever! Don't this hit make my people wanna Don't this hit make my people wanna Don't this hit make my people wanna
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
This is pathetic.
The worst. This is the worst. This is the worst. Yeah.
Disney start this kid going daddy, daddy, daddy.
I'm bag of pixie dust. Contraband.
They're going to do the Mary Poppins thing. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Magic mirror on the wall. The fairest one of all.
Oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
I get it. I'm not persecuted. I'm just an ass.
If you haven't subscribed to Reina yet and you're watching this, you suck.
Oh, well, hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, of course, giving you the straight dope when it comes to pop culture and sci-fi analysis, and always keeping it real when it comes to theme parks, because I am not on the Disney cupcake list. So welcome to the Spice Lounge. This is my weekly show where I break down what's gotten on my radar in the world of pop culture, and of course to keep you guys informed and, you know, to just chat about what the heck is going on because you guys in the chat, you guys are my co-hosts for the show. I mean, yeah, I got my friends who pop on the panel as they get a chance to, but you guys in the chat are what make this show go. It's again, it's like Wendy Williams' talk show. You know, the audience got questions and stuff to ask and everything, and that's usually what makes the moments fun. So, speaking of fun, we've got a fun lineup for you today. Apparently, there's a Ryan Coogler film that I actually really like. I'm a surprise to, and that is Sinners. And not only did it surprise me, because actually I just got out of my showing about an hour ago, but it surprised the box office. And I'm pretty sure there's a very good reason why that is happening. We've got information about Toy Story 5, how Disney Star Wars just can't quit being Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars going to Disney Star Wars. And apparently they're going to bring another Memberberry person back. And we're going to talk about them. And of course, live action OutRun movie that will be coming. We're going to talk about yet another video game to be turned into a live action movie. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens. So we have got 48 of you guys in here between YouTube and between X, formerly known as Twitter. Please give this stream a thumbs up over on YouTube. Please do. Give it a heart over there on Twitter. Well, X, I'm still going to call it Twitter. I sure do appreciate that. And Juliet is a brand new member. Thank you so much. It makes me feel like this. Thank you so much for being a member, my dear. You guys at the membership level, you provide extra input into the channel, allow me to do some stuff that I am not able to do on my own. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Juliet, one of the coolest grandmothers out there in the interwebs. So good to see you, my dear. Let's see who we have got here in the chat. We have got Snortapoopus Q Berg, who says hello, humans and other critters. One of my amazing mods, because I couldn't really do this job without the mods in the chat. So they are awesome. So please be awesome back to my chat. My mods. Tom F is here as well. Says welcome to the Spice Lounge. Hit the like button and ring the bell to subscribe and keep up on all the spice. Yes, indeed, my spicy corner of the internet. And Phil Metzger says, I'll be multitasking by watching here and Jeopardy. We've got a person that looks like Sheldon Cooper if was younger. Ha, 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 ha. You know what? Jeopardy is one of my favorite shows. I kid you not. I used to play Jeopardy so good at home that my friends are like, come on. How do you know all the answers? I'm like, oh no, just weird like that. Well, glad you're here, Phil. Appreciate that. Juliet, good morning, Reina and chat. Well, good morning to you, Juliet. Of course, thanks again for being a new member. I appreciate that. And let's see who else we have got in the chat. We have got HMPD Josh Perry. Hello and welcome, my dear. Glad you are here with us. And let's see, we have got Thanatos Felicitas as well, who says, hello, everyone. Good to see you, my dear. Linda F is here. So thank you so much. Says hello and hello, Lorena. Good to see you, my dear. See the little hug emoji is so cute. Go and Shogi, another one of my amazing channel members says, good evening. Well, good evening to you. And you know what, Go and Shogi, I've been meaning to ask you this. So anyway, I'm watching this K-drama called Alchemy of Souls. If you are into fantasy, you want to watch this K-drama. I think it's like 35 episodes. I'm on like episode 7. The story, the visuals are just insane. So apparently they were playing a game of Go. You're going to have to tell me what that is. since apparently they were trying to play Go drunk and somebody lost a bet. But anyway, that just popped in my mind. I said, so is that where Go and Shogi gets his name from? I know. I'm so easy to please, but you have to let me know sometime. Let's see who else we have got in the cat. Let's see. It's a weird time to release Sinners. I think what dominated around Halloween. We're going to get to that because I think that is on purpose because that was done to another film, if you all can recall what that is, but I'll help you out. The Haunted Mansion remake. Yeah. But we're going to talk about that when we talk about Sinners. And no, I will not be giving spoilers for Sinners, but I will be giving you my high-level non-spoiler review. And let's see. Wait. There's Erica. You know what? Let me bring Erica in because it looks like she is ready to come on in. And there she is. Hello, my dear. How you doing? Oh, you're muted. It's okay.
That would help.
We all do it.
Yeah, doing good. Got my dining room table officially paid off. So now it's just getting the lacquer on and then delivery.
Ooh.
So I'm really excited.
Oh, nice. That sounds absolutely so much fun. Love new furniture. I want to get a new couch eventually. Pretty soon. I
You would love
need
my
one.
couch.
Yeah, it's like comfy, the
Oh,
really to
girl,
sneak into.
is
You
it?
don't
Oh,
wanna get out of it.
It's like a bed. And I mean like a real bed. In fact, the manufacturer I just found out recently also makes beds. So I'm tempted to order one of their beds and take it with us when we go back to the States. I'm like obsessed with this manufacturer and they're only here. And I'm like, damn, y'all would make a killing in the States because I would throw down
Oh my gosh.
because yeah, you get on my couch and you don't want to get up. It's literally like a bed. And it with the ottoman, which I need to order,
Mm-hmm.
turns into like this massive, I swear, like a little larger than a California king bed.
Oh my goodness.
And I mean, it is like the best TV lounger. Yeah, I love my couch. And now I'm rethinking the whole cat thing because someone brought it to my attention. They like to.
Yes,
I hadn't thought about that.
they do. So like a couch that I have when I first moved down there, I just needed something simple and Professor X, of course, was like, yeah, I'm gonna make it
No.
mine. So at least he has the sense to kind of scratch it from under the thing. There's a couple stuff on the arms of the chair. So I just put like a cushion or like blankets I like to put on the arms of the chair so he won't like scratching the arms of the chairs. Also, another good thing is clear packing tape.
Oh,
They cannot
really?
scratch through that. And the way that it's crinkly sound on it, they don't like it. Yeah,
I'll
I
have
had
to
to.
think on that one. My son's gonna be disappointed because I told him, "Yeah, you can have a cat when we get back to the States. It'd be kinda nice to have a kitty around."
Mhm.
And, then a friend of mine brought it to my attention about the scratching thing, and I'm like, "Oh, I got caught up in the cuteness of having a cat that I totally forgot about the other side of that."
It's kind of like how like when I first got my two cats like about 15 years ago, brother and sister, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's twice the scratching, and they're kittens and they like to scratch on everything. And I'm like, look, you can't be messing up my couch. So I literally got clear packing tape, put it on the doorpost because for some reason they wanted to try the doorpost and try to scratch at the door because I close that when I go to sleep. So I put that on there and they kind of like, okay, we're not gonna mess with that. But yeah, cats will scratch up your furniture because Although I love them, cats are jerks. They don't care.
Yeah, and I love both cats and dogs. I am allergic to cats, but I was gonna test the Russian blue breed because I've heard they're hypoallergenic.
They
I
are.
figured that could work, and they're super cute. Oh gosh, they're freaking adorable.
They're very
Um,
cute, but very vocal. They will talk to you.
oh really?
Yes. Yes.
I like that.
Is my Russian blue, yes, his name was Logan. Logan, yes, as in Wolverine. He would literally talk. I mean, like, what is wrong with you? And he would talk so darn much. I'm just like, can you shut up for a little bit? Mm-mm. No, no, he would do that all the time. And he was extremely smart. I'm like, what kind of cat is this? Oh my gosh.
I
He
need to
was
turn my
great.
TV off. So if you're hearing feedback, I left it on. I'll be right.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Hey, Kiss My Grits says, hey, LRC. The Reina Creole will be interesting to see how Sinners legs out. But I'm curious if you think that 90 million budget was justified or it could have been trimmed to 50 million. That is I think it was justified for several reasons. One, the location shoot. The story is set in the Mississippi Delta. I mean, I'll get to it a little later. Story set in the Mississippi Delta. That's actually where my father's family is from. So I've been there many, many, many times. That film and the cinematography, dead on. It looks so good. The musical score is amazing. Literally, the blues music that's in it, the other music that they put in it. They eventually bring in a little bit of modern music, but that's to make a point with the plot of the story. But Ludwig Göransson did the score. And I believe he's won an Oscar. Was it an Oscar or was it an Emmy? Might have been both of them. But anyway, he did an amazing score because I think he did the score for Black Panther. So the score, I mean, the score is amazing. You're talking about, you know, you got that blues soundtrack that's on, like that Mississippi Delta feel. Man, which they even bring in some rap music. They bring in some Chinese music. They actually have this dude looking like he was dancing from Riverdance, and it was literally like Irish, like Irish something. Yes, how they did it, and it was, oh my gosh, it was so freaking cool. It really was. It was awesome. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it legs out. I'm not happy about when it was dropped, considering it's a horror movie through and through, and for grown folks only. Okay, I'm going to put that out there because so many people like to sneak your kids in rated R movies. Be a good parent. Hire a sitter. Let's see. Amanda is here. Who says hello, lovely Lorena? What, Erica?
You mean don't be like Raph Dad, where you would take him to see rated R movies like Rambo and Terminator and
Yeah, they'll just bring them in. They're like, yeah, that's okay. You'll be all right. Bring them in.
Raph even admits to today, he's like, those movies as a kid, he's like, they actually did terrify me. He's like, I wish he had it taken me at such a young age.
Oh God, it's hilarious. Hey, Amanda says hello, lovely Lorena and cheery chat. How is everyone? Ready for some spice? Well, we have definitely got spice for you guys tonight. Let's see. Is Sinners part of the horror movie too? Yes, Sinners is a horror movie. It is an unrepentant horror movie, and my type of preferred horror movie, which is supernatural horror with religious theming into it. It is more of a, how to put this, it's more psychological. You got some blood in there, of course, vampires are involved, but it's more psychological, more suspenseful, and yeah, it's literally one of my top 10. And I love Go is like a Chinese chess game, but they play it all over the Asian countries. I created my name from Naruto, though. Oh, okay. I'm like, Go. What is that game? Because I saw it. Because I saw it in a K drama. Let's see. Best Naruto character is a master of both Go and Shogi. He's a strategist. Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. And let me see. This is why we have dogs, saying Erica and Ron.
I like both, and I'm partial to the Yorkie since I had a Yorkshire.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing and a pain in the butt all at the same time. And once you've had one, it's hard to go, but it's kind of hard to go back to any other breed.
I don't have dogs because I do not have that much attention to give, really. So I need a self-cleaning pet. That's why I have cats. I do. I do. It's a
Hey,
self-cleaning
no
pet.
judgment. I love cats too, and they are very much
It
independent cusses.
Yes, they do their own thing. Although I said that one day I do want a dog. I want a German Shepherd because my nana used to have a
Mm.
German Shepherd, and that dog wouldn't let me do anything as a kid. That dog would narc
Train,
on me.
train, train. Ooh, you don't train them early, they will run amok in your
Hmm.
household.
Kind of like had to do with my cats because apparently I pick up cats who have crazy amounts of energy, and when they get boiled, they get destructive. We had to nip that sucker in the bud. Hey, Mama L, good to see you. Good to see
Hi, Mom.
you. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. There's something that tells me that if they trimmed it, it wouldn't look the way that it does. They portrayed the 1930s extremely accurately, down to the costuming, which was done by multi-Oscar award winner Ruth Carter. Okay, so
That definitely attracted me in the trailer was how they captured the time period. And the actors did really well with, like, their accents, like, the way they spoke back in those
yeah,
days. We assume that's how they spoke back then anyways. And
it is because that's how my paternal grandfather spoke. That's how my paternal
okay,
grandmother spoke. So hearing them talk, it was just like that's cousin so and so. That sounds like that sounds like my grandfather. The dialects are bang on. They are so accurate down to the fact that they had the Chinese store
I
on both
thought it
sides
was
of town.
a cool period movie, and then, like, the weird zombie thing started happening, and I was like, "Ah." I'm like, "Really?
Yeah, they
It's
had
a horror
vampires.
flick?"
Yes.
That's gonna give me nightmares. Well, you know me.
it's
I'm not
it's
watching that.
It's a horror flick, but I wanna say give it a try. It's not,
Are there jump scares?
how would I put it? Is it what? Sorry?
Like, are there jump scares? I can't do jump scares.
Um, there's a couple of them because it's a horror movie. They gotta, they gotta do it. They gotta do it, but it relies less there's still gore, but it relies less on hack and slash and more psychological. So that's why I like it, 'cause I'm like, "Man, if it's slash and hack, I'm so not interested in that." Kiss My Grit says, "When I saw the Sinners trailer, it reminded me of Eve's Bayou, which I loved in the '90s." Yes. Yes, it does. It's that same type of cinematography that makes you believe you are deep into, um, the bayou with the way they talk, with the costuming, everything. Even down to the modes of transportation that they had going on. I'll talk about that a little bit later too, because my grandfather was alive during that time, so he's told me plenty of stories and what people believed, and there's a reason why my grandparents and people like my grandparents were like, "You never go to a juke joint ever."
I'm intrigued.
That is where the people who are up to no good go. The ones looking for a good time, the ones who forget that they have wives, those who forget that they have husbands, those who forget that they have any sense of decency, and people trying to make a quick buck and profiting off of other people's sorrows. So yes, that is what a juke joint is. I didn't know what it was until I saw the color purple and they were talking about putting together a juke joint. I asked my mom, "What's that?" And she was telling me, no self-respecting Black Southerner would go to a juke joint. It's worth well, it's like the club now, you know. But there was a very very heavy stigma on being at one of those, and they totally got the vibe down exactly of exactly with that. Hey, Dylan, good to see you. Good to see you. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Let's see. Yeah, I know. I know German Shepherds have a lot of energy, but I can't deal with a lap dog. I can't. Oh
I
my gosh,
love lap dogs.
I can't. I really can't. Some of them are just like seriously clingy, and I can't do that. I say that now, and somebody will give me a King
Sophie
Charles.
was interesting. She could be an independent cuss like a cat, but when she wanted your attention, she'd let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she had sass. If you didn't want to be, if
Mm-hmm.
she could sense I was like PMSing, she could sense it. She wouldn't come near me. It's like she knew I wasn't in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm in the middle of something and she'd come up on the couch and I'd give her this look like I'm not in the mood, she'd get down off the couch and do this.
See, I don't know.
Like,
It's like I know dogs that I can't deal with. Like Jack Russell Terriers, I can't. They are nuts. Chihuahuas, no, no. I
yeah,
really
they can
can't.
easily get territorial. They got cute
Yeah,
faces, but oof, if
but
you don't
eventually,
socialize them, ugh.
I can't. I was like, nah, I can't. I can't deal with you. So it's like I like the German Shepherds and Labrador Retrievers. Or if I really stepped into some money, a husky. They are so beautiful. Oh my god.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, hey,
And they're
Keely.
high maintenance too.
Mhm. Yeah. Kinda like me. You should give it a try, Phil. Go to a matinee. That's what I tell people. If you're not too sure about whether it's worth the spend, go to a matinee, or $5 night at the theater and see it. I mean, uh, I thought it was very, very worth my time. I totally enjoyed it when I went to go see it. D&D pubs and taverns. Yes, that's pretty much what a juke joint is for real, for real. Hey, DJ Knight, good seeing you. Let's see. And if you ever saw the movie A Devil in a Blue Dress, also had a juke joint in that one because they had juke joints because it was racially segregated in the South. So you couldn't have a bar with, everybody in it. No. So Black folks and Creoles, they had what's known as a juke joint. I mean, you had some white people who come visit, but 1930s that usually caused more trouble than it was worth sometimes, which made it really difficult for people who were Creole who at first glance they looked like they were white, but they really weren't, and they weren't trying to pass either. Yes, Final Destination, Bloodlines, exactly. Looking for that. Looking for that. Army Wives had a juke joint, like the series.
I remember that.
I don't.
Well, I didn't watch the full series either. I kind of plugged out around the 4th season. I don't remember.
Was that the one where the dude's wife had an affair with some guy who had no legs? That's when I tuned out.
Uh, I must have tuned out before then because I don't even remember that.
It was
It got weird by the 4th season. It just
yeah.
got stupid.
I was just like, I don't want to look at this. This is yeah. No, thank
I
you.
don't remember that one. I
Next.
remember the bar with the jambalaya or the gumbo.
I don't even remember that one.
One of the army wives, like she bought this restaurant, like a truck stop type place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember that one. It's been a long time since
Yeah,
I've
and no
seen
real
since
military
Monroe
spouse
was.
would do that when you know you're gonna get orders and move. It's
Hmm.
like, okay.
Well, what is definitely okay is over 81 of you folks in here watching, and for some reason, I can't share my screen. What the heck's going on here? Frickin' StreamYard. I'm sorry, folks. StreamYard like seriously tried to freeze on me. It looks like I'm gonna have to reboot. Actually, refresh the
What?
screen, because I will be right back. Yeah, like my screen is frozen when trying to share with StreamYard. It's just like I've got like
Oh,
the blue thingy. So where the heck is that? And I think I lost like all of my. I think I lost like all my tabs too. Um, this is embarrassing. I'm gonna reboot. It should take me like 2 minutes to come back. Erica, can you hold down the fort for me?
I can try.
You'll do fine. You'll do fine. You'll do fine. I bet you this has to do with something with Windows 11. Okay, I will be right back. I will be right back. I will be right.
Okay. I think we lost her. I have no clue what to talk about. See, now the attention, the camera's on me, and I'm just like blanking. Yeah, she's just frozen, which is weird. I figured she'd just bloop out and then come back in. Yeah, mom, she's frozen. She's rebooting. The app that we use for streaming wasn't. It was kind of glitching on her, so she's rebooting. How was my Easter? Was good. We just stayed home, didn't do a whole lot. Um, sorry I didn't call a lot of family. Sorry, mom. I love you. Um, it was chill. What did y'all do for Easter? I want to know in the comments. Like Easter egg hunt, good food. I did make deviled eggs and I colored them and they came out neon, like hot pink, bright blue, green. I was like, man. Then I started going down the Halloween rabbit hole during Easter, and that's really weird and bizarre, but I can't help myself. It's my brainstorming season. I had coffee and food. We had food, Tom F. Yes, I had coffee and food too. Linda F. We had a female Chihuahua pit mix. So sweet. Aw. Aw. Jack Russell passed away a few years ago. He was such a smart boy. That is the worst part about pets is when they pass. I miss my girl. I miss my Sophie girl. Yeah. Yes, lots of chocolate.
Am I back? Am I back? Okay.
And
Okay. I think I'm back. I think I'm back.
better.
Yeah.
And asking people how their Easter went. So I'm reading the comments.
Ooh. How did you guys
And
Easter go?
I was
Uh,
reading Kiss My Grits. I used to be able, well, it's like moving quick. Blessed with Easter egg hunts as a kid. Yeah, me too. Those were fun. I'd make my parents start hiding eggs in their yard weeks before Easter. Haha. Did you guys as kids ever like practice and hide eggs inside the house. I don't recommend that, by the way.
I've never done that.
I mean, at least get plastic eggs for your kids.
I know at my church we had there was like an Easter egg hunt after each service, and there's 4 services on Easter. I hate getting up early, but I had to get to the 8:30 service, and God bless them, they had Krispy Kreme donuts just for the
Ooh,
8:30 service.
girl,
They were so
we always had Dunkin' Donuts at our church. I will say, though, my mom made the best homemade Easter baskets. They were so pretty and always sparkly and just, oh, I looked forward to every Easter because she would just create the most pretty, like an elaborate gift basket.
oh
She
my
put so much
gosh.
thought into. I wish I had pictures. I do somewhere, but probably at mom's and not her photos. I don't think I have any on me.
Okay, it looks like I'm back up and running. As usual, I like to kick it off with something absolutely funny. So I have to thank Neon for this right here. He said, what did they say? Oh my gosh. He said, this is still better than the Galactic Star Cruiser. Oh my gosh. No, he isn't doing Hypnotized by Biggie Small.
I can't see that.
Hang on. No, I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to blow it up for you guys.
What?
I want to know where this was from. This was either, oh, it's not the Hyperspace Hoopla. I wonder if it's from the Empire Strips bag. Either way, I didn't think I would ever see Jabba the Hutt rapping and doing Hypnotized by
Oh
Biggie
my
Smalls.
god.
I know. I'm trying not to get claimed because, well, what the heck is this with it?
Wow.
Oh, Going Shogi says this is the Empire Strips bag.
It's back. Oh
Thank
god.
you. I have been told about the Empire Strips Back, so I so want to go. Basically a Star Wars themed burlesque show.
Oh
And
gosh. This is the first time hearing of it. So I'm like, what?
I heard about it
Yeah.
from oh my gosh. I was gonna say it was either Chris Gore or Dante from Verbal Riot show. Because when they mentioned it, I'm like, I'm sorry, wait, what? What? Hang on. No, I'm gonna show this to you guys. Let's see. Ha! The Empire Strips
Oh
Back. In case you
gosh.
folks thought I was making this up. Hey, Max, relax.
I don't even know what to say. Much
I
make this better than
I've heard this is it's something to see. It's totally something to say. So many people have told me about it. I'm like, what? That's like flash dance or something like that. Oh my gosh. I got it. Oh shoot, they're done in Orlando. Daggone it. You can go to Vegas, Seattle, Chicago.
Oh boy, they've been everywhere already. Even Tampa, Miami.
DC, Boston, Philly, Montreal, London, Paris,
Oh, even out here. Oh no. Wow.
Newcastle, Adelaide.
And
Wow.
Disney's okay with this?
I think they got to the rights to this. I think it qualifies as parody.
Okay.
So I don't know how they got around it. Let's see. Parody production, and they acknowledge the trademarks, not sponsored, endorsed, or affiliated with Disney, Lucasfilm Entertainment, Lucasfilm Limited, blah 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 blah, blah whatever. So yeah,
Okay, parody. That's how they're getting away with it. Oh my gosh.
this
That's
is
like
a real thing, folks.
I mean, one could argue Disney nowadays maybe did approve this.
Probably. Well, considering how much money it makes, they're probably like, we wish we could have gotten in on that. Hey, Braylon, how you doing? Yes, it is. It is a burlesque show, and I gotta thank Chris Gore and Dante from Verbal Riot Show for putting this into my mental database. One of them looks like Madonna.
Like Madonna. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Empty location along 192. Well, most of the strip clubs are on Orange Blossom Trail, actually. Some parts of Orange Blossom Trail. Just I'm just saying. Thanatos Felicitas says the sad thing it's more true to the original than Disney Star Wars. Yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
Yep.
But speaking of Disney, coming to us from Deadline, Ernie Hudson taking over Carl Weathers' voice role of Combat Carl in Toy Story 5. Ernie Hudson is taking over the late Carl Weathers' voice role of action figure Combat Carl in Toy Story 5, Deadline has confirmed. So apparently before Carl's unfortunate passing, let's see, he voiced Combat Carl, Toy Story of Terror, Toy Story 4, which I remember, unfortunately.
I
First
don't.
of all,
And I watched it.
yeah, it's just like you kind of had
I only
to.
remember the spork looking weird character that
Oh,
seemed like Disney just pulled out of their ass when creating it. It was the most bizarre character ever. That's the only thing I remember. I do not remember anything else about that movie because it was just
it was not
nothing to
needed.
remember.
And the only things that I really remember about, besides Combat Carl, because I do remember that, because I think they had like 3 Combat Carls, and every time one of them tried to get a high five, they just like ignored them. So I
Oh,
remember
okay.
that.
Now I remember. All right.
That was
Okay.
funny.
Yep.
And you had Keegan Michael Key and Jordan Peele as Ducky and Bunny. And it was like a G-rated version of basically the Key and Peele show. So they were kind of funny, but for the most part, ah, it didn't need to be made. I thought it was boring. I mean, but Disney had to go ahead and do it. Toy Story should have ended with 2, but 3 was so good. It's like, okay, I'll permit that. So Toy Story 3 is actually my favorite. Then 1, and then 2. Yeah, ruined Buzz's character growth. Honestly, I didn't give a crap about Bo Peep, really. I did, and you know what? I didn't even know she was gone, actually. Actually, by the time
Me
that went,
neither.
then
The 4th movie was just kind of the storyline was a little odd.
it
And
was
I just
really, really strange. They just
it
they followed Bonnie instead. Because, like, in the
mm,
end of Toy Story 3, it's like, first of all, it's just like, if you weren't crying at the end of that sucker, you just were not even. When Andy gave his toys to Bonnie, but as
yeah.
he doesn't just give her the box, he talks about each toy and why it's
Mhm.
important. I was like, that's where it should have ended. It would have been great. But no, they had to make one around Bonnie and her first day of school, and Woody's problems with not being able to let go and feeling needed. it was just, it wasn't the best. And I felt dumber for having watched it. Guess my
Oh.
grit said I read earlier today that Toy Story 5's plot will allegedly center around Jessie. Yes, I am glad that you brought that up. Now, this is from that Park Place, from our friends over there at that Park Place, written by Marvin Montanaro. Says Toy Story 5 will be about Jessie, according to Tim Allen. Is Disney swapping out boys for girls again? I wouldn't be so fast to say that. Um, and here's my reason. Here's my reason why. When Jessie was introduced, she was introduced in Toy Story 2. And she actually had a good amount of stuff to do. Like, remember, there's a critter in trouble because Buster wanted to go outside for some private time, according to Slinky Dog, and he couldn't get out. And Jessie gets on a skateboard and goes around the Hot Wheels loop and jumps up on the skateboard, opens a door so Buster can go outside. And let's just say Buzz looked like, yeah, that's my girl. So she was pretty fun. So is Disney swapping out boys for girls again? I don't know, but let's see. Let's search here. Is Disney pulling another lead character gender shuffle? If they're smart enough, of course, that's a caveat. They won't do this. Or if they do it, they do it with how she really does like to rescue people. She really does. That's like her thing to do. Let's see. Alan, who has voiced Buzz Lightyear since '95, is touring on tour with his comedy show. And he gave an interview. Says, I can tell you that it's a lot about Jessie, Alan said. Tom Hanks and Woody and I do realign. There's an unbelievable opening scene with Buzz Lightyear. I can give you that, but I can't give you much more. And of course, it sparks speculation, especially in light of Disney's recent trend of shifting longtime male franchises towards new female leads, often changing the tone or direction of beloved classics. So some are wondering if this is yet another example of reworking a familiar series to highlight a new face, even when that character has been part of the ensemble for decades. I'll ask you, Erica, what do you think about this alleged news, even though it's coming from Tim Allen?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, like, that was the first thing when I read Kiss My Grits' comment. That was the very first thing that went through my head was, are we doing this girl boss thing? And it's sad that we're in an era now where your brain just auto pilots to that because Disney's created that reputation for themselves. But then again, Jessie, you know, given her role in all the movies, I could see it, without it offending, um, without it being offensive, Then again, Disney's really good at just, gosh, it's anything goes with this company, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm at a point where do I even trust this? And this is part 5. Like, how far are you gonna deviate this time? I hate to say that, but I've gotten to where I absolutely just don't trust them.
No.
That's where I'm at with them in my relationship with them.
Yeah, because that's how I felt about Inside Out 2. Everything that we saw, we were led to basically believe there was going to be some kind of lesbian relationship in that movie, and that turned out to not be the case. Like, literally, my sister was like, "We're going to wait until you see it, and then you tell me if we should go and see it," because I do not trust Disney. So I saw the movie and was like, "Wow, they must have had to come to Jesus meeting," because Toy Story 2, no, excuse me, Inside Out 2 was actually pretty darn good. A little heavy on the anxiety thing, but for the most part, it was pretty much safe enough to park your kids. in front of it.
Mhm.
This one, and this is just me because the thing with Disney is a lot of their creative talent has just left because they can't be creative anymore. If they do this and they can put the lead on Jesse without denigrating the other characters. When you have, like a recurring series and it's an ensemble cast and every other week there's like a focus on somebody in that cast, but it's more of everyone's reactions to that particular
Mhm.
character. So if they do that, it could work. If you bring
Mm.
Jesse as the Jesse we remember from Toy Story 1 and 1, 2, and 3, forget 4. Forget 4, 2 and 3. They do that, then okay. But like you, I do not trust them. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is
I would
one
wait
where
for the
I would have to
reviews.
wait to hear. Well, I'm going to see it because I gotta review it. This is one of those where I'm like, I have to wait and see attitude.
Yeah, I'm kind of burned out on Toy Story. The 4th one was like, eh, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't know,
agree.
I used to look forward to these movies every summer, and they were just great movies, bang, 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 every year, and I didn't miss a beat for years watching these, blockbusters come out every, like, June, essentially. They were, like, on this
Mhm.
perfect schedule, and it seemed like the next movie outdid the last one, and they were on this great path, and then they just I don't know, they just stopped, making really good, memorable movies, like,
Mhm. Kiss My Grit says, I think Chris Gore reported that Inside Out 2 went through a lot of edits to tone down
yeah,
the relationship after the initial trailer made us all suspect. Okay, that
that's what I heard too.
that would explain
Yeah.
it.
I heard they were really pushing the envelope, and when basically leaks and the rumors were circulating, Disney decided to kinda pull it in, um, but
Just stop
yeah.
with stop with the sequels, Disney. I mean, no,
Yeah, I
they're
know, I'm
not
like,
going to,
5 movies.
but
It's like Fast and Furious. Are they on, like, movie 20 yet?
um, where did I see? Fast. I saw
Is that
Fast.
what we're doing now with movies?
I think 11. Well, I got a superficial reason for watching Fast and Furious movies.
Braylon Lee just read my mind.
It's
Great
about
to be Disney's Fast and
family.
Furious franchise.
It's about family.
It's funny.
Yes, they were.
Yes, it was. Oh gosh, it was
Mhm.
just Little Mermaid came out, and then you have Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and then Lion King. Oh my gosh, I remember
So
just
many of them. Hercules. I mean,
Hercules was fun. I remember there being a little bit of controversy, like, "How is this gonna work? Make it to a musical, what?" And it turned out to be a great movie.
mhm.
Like,
I was like, wow,
ah,
this is great. This is awesome. Well, if you thought Pixar is in trouble, so to speak, with this Toy Story 5, we get this. Star Wars director confirms talks for Samuel L. Jackson's Mace Windu return. And here's what I think.
No.
That's my reaction. I mean,
I have no reaction because I don't really keep up with Star Wars, so I'm, like, sitting here,
it's
"What's
like,
Mace Windu return?"
well,
I'm really just like, "What?"
that's my fault. Um, Mace Windu, apparently, he's a Jedi Master. You saw him in oh my gosh. Don't laugh at me, y'all. Don't pull away my nerd pass. I think he showed up in 2. Yeah, I think he showed up in no, she showed up in 1. So Anakin said, "We accept you on the council, but we do not give you the title of master." So yeah, he was like the Jedi. The Jedi. Well, spoiler, dude dies. I think was in the third one. Yeah, third one. He's dead. So it's like Disney right now, okay, screwing up Pixar, and then you have Disney Star Wars. This guy is dead. The fact that you're going back into the crates, as my friends like to say about music, or I guess Weekend at Bernie's, and bring him back and drag his carcass around in another movie. Again, this just reeks of desperation. But let me read back here a little bit more down here. One Star Wars director has talked to a Lucasfilm executive about Samuel L. Jackson returning as Mace Windu, adding steam to fans' hope that the legendary actor could return to the galaxy far, far away. Actress and filmmaker Bryce Dallas Howard recently sat down with Josh Horowitz on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. Guess there's a link right here. During the discussion, Howard was asked a general question about directing that led her to bring Star Wars into the association. So here, Sam Jackson has been incredibly supportive of me and has told me many times that he would act in something I directed, which is like, I'm not worthy, basically. And then I went straight to Dave Filoni, and that was your first mistake. Your first mistake was Dave Filoni. And I was like, so let's just talk about Mace Windu and where he is. Can we just talk about that? Because he is dead. Is he? Yes, he's freaking dead. I mean,
So are we
Anakin
pulling?
took him out.
Are we doing like the days, the soap opera, the afternoon soap operas where people would die and then they'd somehow figure out a way to bring them back from the dead?
I
Are
think
are
that's what's
we
going to
doing that
happen.
now with Star Wars?
And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Oh god.
So
It's
if
turned
they
into a daytime soap opera now.
It is. It's like who shot JR, and it turns out that it was a darn, you got Bobby Ewing in the shower. I'm guessing, they'll find Mace Windu someplace where, yeah, some people found him, nursed him back to health, and he's just totally disgusted with the Jedi. This is what Disney, you better not steal this. You better not
Or he
steal this.
faked his death. Mm,
Mm-hmm. Knowing them, they'll
sorry.
probably turn him into a freaking dark Jedi or something stupid like that. It's
He'll be
just,
the first zombie Jedi.
yes.
Oh, that'd be just like him to do that, wouldn't it?
Mhm. I mean, they did it with the acolyte. They're just gonna have him teach a more powerful female
Mm.
disciple. Yeah, they will, because you know.
Be like, oh man, I just had this really bad thought. Like my mind went to like, was it Vampire Diaries where they had like the witches and they were bringing like people back from the dead, and then like the whole occult thing with
Mhm.
was it the not Ahsoka? You just said it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was Ahsoka. The other one was the acolyte. That was the one
Acolyte, that
with the
was it. That
witches.
was the one
So
with the witches. So are
yeah,
they gonna have sorry, my brain's just like, so are we gonna have these witches come in and do their magic and bring people back from the dead? I'm
you're
sorry, it's just
y- no, because you're old school and your normie Star Wars fans are like, forget this crap. Yeah, because first of all, Maul got cut in half. In half. And they brought his ass back in Rise of Palpatine.
I'm not
I'm
even
like,
gonna ask how they did that or what. Yeah, I'm not even gonna ask.
oh God, it was just,
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I wasn't gonna ask, but now I'm like, really?
it's, oh my gosh,
So they
this is,
had voodoos? Oh,
I couldn't. I hope this like dies on the vine, but knowing the state of Disney Star Wars, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Really.
I freaking hate them.
These are the days of Star Wars.
As sands through the hourglass. You know what? It's not even Passions level interesting. Remember that? Remember that soap opera? It was so
Yeah,
crazy
okay.
out there.
It
That's all you expected was for it to just be crazy, and what crazy stuff are they gonna do this week? No one cares. That was its niche.
golly. As
And
if, yeah, you talk about beating a dead horse. Okay, I'm a normie. I don't follow Star Wars like, you do and like the real fans. And even I'm sitting here like you you're just beating a dead horse, which I think has already been said.
yeah, they're just throwing spaghetti against the wall and
Exactly.
to see
The
what
power
what sticks.
the power of one, the power of two, the power of many will bring Samuel back laughing out loud. See, that's what I'm saying. It's probably what they're gonna do. I mean,
Like
it's about
who was that actor who
wow.
played it's bad, I can't remember. Who was the actor who played Ken in the Barbie movie?
Oh, Ryan Gosling?
Yes, they're gonna put him in a Star Wars movie.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding.
What?
They
I
announced it
can't
at
see.
Celebration in
What?
Japan. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
like, what is he desperate for money?
I don't think if he's desperate for money so much as
He just wants to be in the Star Wars
just
'cause
maybe
it's
he just
Star
wants to
Wars
be
to
in
him?
Star Wars. Yeah. So this is from CBS News. I'd seen it announced other places. So Lucasfilm announced Friday, and this was at Star Wars Celebration, which was held in Japan this year, I think in Tokyo. Let's see. Lucasfilm announced Friday the next installment of the Star Wars franchise, Star Wars Starfighter. Why does that make me think of the movie The Last Starfighter? With Gosling will hit theaters in May 2027, and Sean Levy, aka Deadpool and Wolverine's director, will direct the film. Yeah, I think he is. I think he is going to do it for fun, but
Um,
I so don't care. I love Deadpool and Wolverine, but really, I
I mean,
just
the guy is good looking and all, but I I don't know, I just feel like Star Wars is just beneath him.
yeah, who knows? It's like he could be wanting to do it for fun. I have no idea, but something tells me that they're just basically going to try to do a carbon copy of Han Solo and fail miserably. But that's just me. That's what I think. No, I don't want to see Mark Hamill with his crazy TDS. Oh, did you hear Mark Hamill got run off of Blue Sky?
No, I didn't. Ooh,
You,
girl, spill the tea. What's
do
going on?
do you want oh my gosh. Hold on a second. All right.
I did not know that.
Oh, I gotta give who's it? I gotta give Clownfish TV for the heads up on this sucker. Yeah, your girl collates all the gossip. Mark Hamill is being roasted alive on Blue Sky for promoting the Christian movie King of Kings. The Lord works in mysterious ways. That's all I'm gonna do.
Wow, what?
Yes. They found out because remember we were talking about the King of Kings movie. It's
Interesting.
like, oh yeah, Mark Hamill's voice is in it. Yeah, okay, all right. We'll just kind of ignore that. Well,
Oh, I didn't know he voiced anything in that movie.
he was in it. Coming from
Oh,
Red
that is
State by Brandon Morse. One of the best examples, and one of the best examples of sleep in the bed you made moments you will ever see. Star Wars actor and voice of Joker Mark Hamill decided to promote his new film on Blue Sky. The only trouble is that this particular film involves the celebration of Jesus Christ, and Blue Sky is a place where you won't find lots of Jesus fans.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just like, okay, he's really not the brightest crayon in the box. He's
Mm,
really good at proving that.
yeah.
He wasn't thinking, was he? I'm like, I
I
get promoting your movie, but dude, you did it in the wrong place. What did he think was gonna happen? Like, I'm sorry, 1 plus 1 equals 2, you know? Oh,
I don't know, but you know what I think? I think hmm,
it's funny he got his comeuppance in a way. It's like, well,
yes,
welcome to the club.
yes. Talk so bad about X, and then he said he is leaving X for Blue Sky, and I tweeted at him that, this is not an airport, no need to announce your departure, and he went over to Blue Sky, which is basically a freaking cesspool, okay? I mean, it it is a cesspool on Blue Sky. I mean, I have an account over on Blue Sky, but it's mostly just to laugh at stupid progressive.
I keep forgetting to log I created an account, and I just forget to go on there just to read what's going on.
Yeah,
That's
that's
kind of funny. So what was his reaction to getting kicked? I mean, did he
ooh.
go back to X and complain
Yes,
about
he did. He went back to X. But let's see.
now all of a sudden he's appreciating free speech.
Mhm.
Oh. Oh, what a
Isn't
small
that
freaking
something
world.
else? I was just like, I mean, oh my gosh, was it okay, cool. Twitchy. I love Twitchy. I love Michelle Malkin's reporting. But yeah, this is what he put on Blue Sky. All right. He put this on Blue Sky. Mark Hamill as King Herod. I find that very interesting since
Oh, that's
yeah, yeah, Herod
that's
was married. Herod
wow.
was married to his brother's wife. So yeah, so let's see. I'm a huge fan, Mr. Hamill. You made my childhood a happy place, but I'm gonna pass on this one. With the current slew of Christian nationalists warping Christianity and demonizing the vulnerable, I want no part of religion. Too many are being othered right now with the rise in Christian nationalism, including my own LGBTQ plus Skittles Nation family. Until Christians are actually abide by the teachings of Jesus, it's difficult to get behind a project like this, no matter how much I admire your work. Oh, this is my favorite one here. Teaching children about white Jesus, not cool, bro.
My gosh. Wow. Good lord.
Oh my god. This oh mm,
Wow.
yeah. And then coming to us from Twitchy, The Farce Awakens. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill returns to X to let the hate flow through him. Buckle up, folks. This is going to be real frippin'
Oh,
interesting.
man.
Star Wars actor Mark Hamill fled X for the Democratic Party echo chamber Blue Sky back in November 2024. Well, guess what? He's back. He's
I
back like
know.
an unwanted sequel trilogy to a dying movie franchise. The Jedi has returned to X to let the hate flow through him, among other things. So
God.
here's the post from Eric Doherty. LOL. Mark Hamill rejoins X so he can say he hates Trump. This guy says, I truly hate this guy. Mark Hamill's like, same. We're like, oh, he's back now. Mark Hamill is broken.
Broken.
Somehow, Mark Hamill returns. Mark Hamill waking up to do. Oh my gosh. I
Golly.
gotta, oh my gosh, I gotta laugh at this. Yeah, same Mark Hamill, whose pants fell down at a recent awards ceremony. The years have not been kind to him. And we showed that video on the
I
show.
remember. He was like,
He's hyped. I'm like, dang, what? Yeah, dude did a full adjustment.
that was as funny as Minnie Mouse running away when she lost her panties.
Oh my gosh. Mark Hamill was a sick, demented leftist who's going to suffer every minute for the next 4 years. Trump's success is the best revenge. Yeah, here's the pants in case some of y'all missed that.
So what makes us love cinema so much that we're all gathered here to celebrate tonight? For me, it's that films create worlds so vivid and stories so powerful that we lose ourselves in them completely. They create immersive cinematic landscapes that feel alive, whether they're set here in London or anywhere.
His voice even shakes. He's like,
You heard as soon as his voice started quivering, that's when he knew that, his pants had fallen down below his drawers. And guess what? You're going to oh man. Yeah. Mark Hamill is back on
the
X.
best news all night.
This is gonna be hilarious because I love watching the dumb stuff that he says. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, last hot topic before we get to sinners. And it would be Michael Bay and Sydney Sweeney team on movie adaptation of OutRun video game at Universal. This is coming to us from Deadline. As soon as I saw Michael Bay, that gives me pause. Have you played the OutRun video game back in the day, Erica?
No, I wasn't really into the racing games. I could
Oh,
never control the stupid. Even to this day, you get like I don't. Christian is a freaking pro at these. It don't matter what the race game is. It doesn't matter what form it comes in. That child he just knows how to handle those steering wheels and the remotes. And oh my gosh, nope. I'm all
Well,
over the place, and I do not.
I used to play this game every single freaking chance I got. This is before there was GTA. there was OutRun, where basically you're trying to outrun the cops. You're street racing, which is illegal anyway. So you're street racing, and then God forbid, like an ambulance comes up behind you, or the cops come up behind you. It was just like this 16-bit game. No, it's 32, I think. 32-bit game, which was just fun to play for the crappy graphics, but it's basically, drive it like you stole it type of game. And I used to play this so many darn times. I was playing this game before I learned how to drive. And it's probably why I had such a lead foot. So I was watching OutRun a Phoenix Night. And Go and Shogi says this is perfect for Michael Bay. Let's see. Mama Lugo says Herod should be a perfect character for him as much as he hated Jesus. Yeah, he did. Yeah, like I say, God does not like ugly. Does not like ugly whatsoever. I played Need for Speed. I did too. I really don't like it as much as I liked OutRun because OutRun was just straight up campy. OutRun, the start at OutRun kind of reminds me a little bit of the start from Mario Kart, actually. They probably did that sucker on purpose. Oh, I forgot about cruising. I did forget about cruising. Then again, I used to play, what was it? Arctic Run, Arctic Frost, Arctic. Either way, you were speeding on a snowmobile. That game was fun too. OutRun better be set in the 80s. We need old school Trans Am's, Corvette, Porsche, plus a killer soundtrack with White Snake, Kiss, Motley Crue. I'm going to add Run DMC in there as well. Beastie Boys. I'm going to throw that in there too. So let's see. This is an exclusive from Deadline. With the Minecraft movie owning the box office over the past month and HBO's Last of Us returning with a bang, Universal is looking to add to its own video game adaptation to the mix with the help of two big superstars. Sources tell Deadline that the studio is developing a feature adaptation of Sega's iconic video game OutRun with Michael Bay attached to direct and Sydney Sweeney aboard to produce. Jason Rothwell will pen the script. Now, the reason I highlighted Sega is because there is another Sega video game movie that has been making money hand over fist. Any guesses as to what that one is?
The Sonic movies?
Yes, Sonic. Sonic movies. And if you look at like the opening for Sonic and they like show like all the little Sega games inside of the big logo for Sega, this is where they're going. So I'm really not surprised about this at all. Although Sega did I think Paramount did the Sonic movies, but it was still Sega games.
So they're turning this video game into a movie. That's what's happening.
Yes, they
I'm
are
having a
bringing
hard
in
time seeing this translated into a movie other than are we gonna get like another version of Wreck-It Ralph?
That's a good question.
'Cause I'm like I cannot, my creative brain is not being creative right now. I really am drawing a flat line to see this translated as a movie.
I can it's I'm with Kiss My Grits. If they keep it in the 80s, they've got the retro cheese factor going on with that and the soundtrack and the muscle cars. And if they stick it, I think in that time frame, I think you're right. They do that, but they also come up with a story because it's like, why the heck are they out here street racing in Miami?
That's my thing is the story. Like I'm having a hard time even like guessing at how would they storyline. I mean, are we talking like the human world is interacting with the game
Yeah.
world type storyline, or
That's a good one. I mean, if they pull
I mean, is it
who
gonna
knows?
be animated by chance? Like like
No.
CGI animation, or it's live action? Oh,
It's
that's
gonna
even
be
weirder.
live action, and I'm thinking it may be along the lines of like the movie Free Guy, possibly. So we'll see. Although Michael Bay tends to do the crazy action and the story is like an afterthought. But since he's not penning the script, Jason Rothwell will pen the script. Let me see what Jason Rothwell has actually done here on IMDb. Yes, we search this stuff in real time, y'all. I need to find out who this guy is because you have to pay attention to who writes this stuff.
I'm genuinely curious, though. I mean, it could be good. I don't know.
Jason Rothwell, let's see. Silent Night, Polar, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Okay. Malice and I'm not really seeing anything that
stands out.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything he's working on that looks interesting. OutRun, he's a writer. Anybody seen any of these movies this dude has done?
I haven't heard any of these.
I haven't heard of any of these. And
Are they like low budget films?
I think they are. Let's see. What's Silent Night about? Is that a horror movie? Silent Night. Yeah, that's a horror movie.
I don't remember. I have zero recollection of this. What?
Malcolm McDowell was in it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I really don't like when they bring some of these writers in who have a very, very small, thin writing resume, so to speak. Not to say that they're not good, but it kind of always gives me pause when that happens. So it'll be like GTA Vice City in 86. Man, I love the GTA game. You know what? I got to play GTA 5 because I got to get ready for GTA 6, which is going to be all Florida man themed. Rockstar Games is using a whole bunch of famous Florida man stories and putting them in GTA 6. I cannot wait. I've heard of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Sean Connery was in it, but I don't think it was the greatest. Yeah, I didn't really find it. It wasn't a movie that I'd wanted to see. And I'm kind of like, that's all right. But we shall see what happens with this one. Because again, you've got a writer that is not well known, but you have a very, very famous director who is known. Sydney Sweeney, this is probably going to be her first movie as a producer. And if I am, she's probably starring in it. Because sometimes when actors will get producer credit, they're starring in the movie as well. So the producer credit is more of a extra money thing. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I'll keep my eye on this and see how it develops. But looks like Hollywood has got video adaptation fever right now. Yep. So, that's okay, Braylon. I haven't heard of these movies either.
Me neither. I mean, and I'm not what you call an avid, movie follower, but even then, I'm like, still haven't heard of these movies either.
No, and the reason why I've made it a habit of to see who's writing certain things tells you a lot. Like, who was the chick who wrote the? Oh, dang it! It'll hit me later. But yeah, like Acolyte.
Leslie
Headland and a couple of other writers with a resume so thin you can read through it. Or like some of these chicks getting multi-million-dollar movies to direct when they have no track record behind delivering it. That's the reason why I look. Yeah.
It's a curious project, I will say that. So I'm curious as to how it comes out.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm definitely interested in how it works.
Oh, what?
There's a movie being made about Toys R Us.
What? This intrigues me.
Like Night at the Museum meets Back to the Future. I could see that.
I could.
Because as a kid, did you ever think what happened when the store closed?
No, right?
What the toys did?
Or like if I go to sleep, do my toys come alive? Like when I'm like dead asleep in the middle of the night. I've actually had those passing thoughts as a kid. So like when Toy Story came out, I was like, that I could see it. Yeah,
yeah, I can see the story there. Like
I'm
the
more interested in that movie than like this racing.
Like the Black Friday rush, who's a brand new spanking toy? Which ones are, the old standards? Which are the toys that people forgot about? That type of
the rivalries between toys, like brands. Oh, that would be funny.
Bratz versus Barbie. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, I was thinking more like Gem and the Holograms versus Barbie and the Rockers. Oh, yes, ma'am. I was team Gem. Sorry. I was all about Gem and the Holograms. Forget Barbie and the Rockers.
Girl, me too. That's why my computer's named Synergy.
No way.
Yes, that's his colloquial name, not his computer name, but I know it as Synergy. That's why it's got all the colors and and stuff in that. So yeah, I could totally see.
They
I like how we think.
they tried doing a live action of Gem and it was terrible. I was so disappointed. I'm
I
like,
heard
you
it was
guys could
bad.
have done it. Oh,
I know, but
it was bad. I
I'm glad I never saw it.
No, and it wasn't even put out there. I found it by accident. I don't even know where. I think
Dang.
I was just Googling the name just to see if I could find the old dolls, because I'll do
Mhm.
that just to find old
Yeah.
nostalgic toys. And um and I came across a movie had been made, and I'm like, "I've never seen it advertised, nothing." It just kinda one that slipped under the radar, and I
Mhm.
watched it, and I was like, "Okay, I could see why we didn't hear anything about it." It was so
We
bad.
were like,
It,
let's forget what this forget what this is. Let's see.
it
Hold on, because
strange how they
wait. It's my grits just
oh,
sent me something. So yep, Toys R Us movie officially in the
oh,
works. Taps into Toys R Us brand's relevance across its more than 70 years in the toy industry. Well, I will
oh,
say this
Holly, come
much.
on. Jem versus Barbie and the Rockers, Jem versus Barbie and the Rockers. Come on, let's do this. Or Cabbage Patch Dolls versus Garbage Patch
Garbage Pail Kids.
Garbage. Yes, that was a thing. Oh man, you have so much fun with a movie like this.
I would like to see a merger because that's what happened where I lived at in Philly. We didn't have a Toys R Us until another toy store franchise that was local got bought out by Toys R Us. And I was excited because I was like, look, they got all this cool stuff that's coming. So, oh my gosh, that's let me see. I'm gonna bookmark that because I need to keep an eye on that. There is so much how to put it. There's so much they know they can mine the 80s to come up with stuff. He-Man versus Thundercats. Oh, daggone it. I can't pick a side on that one.
Oh, right. Okay, Raph would
Yes, I
totally
can.
be Team Thundercats. I would probably be Team He-Man because
I would
as
too.
a kid, I would watch it in the mornings before going to school, and then when they came out with She-Ra, oh, I liked both.
I love that. It's like I would catch the end of Thundercats because that would come on before He-Man, and then after He-Man came on, She-Ra. I had to see that block, but yeah, mm, that's gonna be fun. Your mom says, "Well, my toys still come to life when I go to sleep." Pole
Mom, I love
position.
you, but you left that one wide open. I'm not even gonna I love you, Mom.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, we will I will keep an eye on this one. Trust me. And in the Toys R Us movie, as well. But there are 102 of you guys watching between YouTube and X. So thank you. This is the Spice Lounge show. And with me, I've got my wing woman, Erica from Hanging with Erica and Roth YouTube channel. And I wanted to get to this particular film because I know a couple guys on the Dark Council were talking about this film. And I was like, do I really want to see this? Do I really want to see this? And then I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, okay. I'm gonna go and check it out. I'm gonna go and watch it because you have some people who have watched it who are not familiar with that era in time, not familiar with that particular let's see, period of time, how people spoke, how people acted, how different classes of people interacted. So it's very easy for someone to throw up the title of woke. And I'm like, well, if you threw up the title of woke, you really have no idea what life was like in the Mississippi Delta during Jim Crow in 1932. So either way, the trailer looks slick. Erica, what was your impression when you saw the trailer for Sinners?
Well, at first I was like, "Ooh, this is a cool 1930s looking film." I kinda thought it was just like a period movie,
Mhm.
unsure what direction they were going in, like if it was about a historical figure, um, maybe diving into like what was going on in the Black community in that era, and then all of a sudden this weird zombie shit started coming up on screen, and I just kinda went and the music just died for me because at that point I was like, "Ah." Like then the sheer terror just hits. But I will say, uh, it didn't look a as terrifying as other horror movies. Um, I'm just not into the genre of horror flicks. It kinda had this, like, zombie vibe. I was like, "Okay, this is interesting." So we're going back to the 1930s. We got a zombie vibe thing going here but at the same time, it's mixed with, like Satanism or, like, Illuminati is kinda what came to my mind, It
Mm.
kinda had this, like, what we think of what the Illuminati is. It kinda had that.
Mhm.
Oh, it's interesting, like, the storyline looks really interesting. It's nice to see something original. But little old me here says, "Can I get something that's not horror? It's not a scary movie that's original."
Well, you know what? And hey, Polly, Latino Slant says Lorraine Creole Sinners. Yes, we're going to be talking about this movie on his channel on Friday, and I can't wait to talk about it. For myself, with seeing
I'd
this
watch it with
film.
you.
Hmm? What?
I'd watch it with you, like, if
Oh
we were
yeah,
hanging out, have
yeah.
some popcorn, chill
We
on the
could
couch,
yeah
you know?
we could
But
watch it.
I'd have to watch it with the right person or the right people, you know what? I'm just not gonna, like, turn it on my own.
Hmm.
But it does look like a really good movie. Yeah, just objectively speaking, it really does. It's just not my personal taste.
Yeah, it's a really good movie, and honestly, a wonderful affirmation that people want original stories to go and see. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter Heat Vision box office. Sinners widens lead over Minecraft with 48 million in surprise Easter victory. Ryan Coogler's supernatural vampire pick, starring Michael B. Jordan, who actually plays oh my gosh, they're actually plays twins. They're actually twins in this one. Earned a near perfect reviews. I've seen that and glowing audience scores. It's a notable double win for Warner Brothers as excuse me, as Minecraft clears 700 million globally. And yes, I liked Megan too. Camera Girl actually sat down and watched Megan with me. She's not a horror movie fan, but she wanted to watch that one and just watch the whole thing. I loved Megan. Totally enjoyed that. Let's
That
see. I
last trailer was weird though on Megan. It
Yeah.
doesn't even it doesn't even resemble a horror flick. It looks like some weird sci-fi flick.
Yeah, I didn't really like the Megan 2 trailer. It's like, why? It's supposed to be horror, not a dance flick. So I wasn't too impressed with that one. But let's see. And Paulie, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Sinners get a cinema score of like an A minus or something like that? It was a really high cinema score. So let's
A
see.
minus. What's the minus for? I'd say A plus, but that's
Uh
my
yeah,
personal opinion.
I don't know how they do it, but anything below an A is not good for cinema
Oh,
score.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
from
didn't
what I've
know that.
heard,
Mm.
it's not. Hey, Dan. Since it's a female Chucky, Erica. Yes, there are callbacks to Chucky in a way.
Okay, I've seen the Chucky movies, and they're kinda dumb.
The first one was
I was like
good. Okay, I like the first one.
oh, I saw the one that was The Bride of Chucky, and I was like, "What?"
I loved Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
I did. I did because Pamela Anderson did the no, wait, yes. Pamela Anderson did the voice of Bride of Chucky. It got an A. Oh, I stand really corrected. Not an A minus, but got an A. And it's
Oh,
his first
wow.
horror movie to get an A cinema
Yeah.
score in the 47-year history of the
47,
organization
wow.
that exited polling for movies. Now that is what
That's
really,
good.
really, really caught
So
my attention.
I'm wondering, do you think this could go if it's, like, gonna be that good and make, like, a lot of money and be popular and stuff, is this something that could turn into, like, a franchise? Is this something that could later down the road turn into, like, a house at Halloween Horror Nights? I mean, I know it's Warner Brothers, but I don't know.
Um,
Just thinking out
I,
loud.
I hope they don't make a prequel to make a sequel
Oh, a
to this one
prequel. Oh.
because of how it happened. They could possibly do a prequel with this. And
Mm.
here's the reason why. It's like the movie starts out. Okay, there's two parts that come to this movie. When the movie starts out, you see this young guy, I want to say he's probably like 17 or something like that. And he's in one of these old school Mississippi black churches, no air conditioning, it's 1932. It looks dilapidated in places, it's very small. And he's at the no, wait, no, that's not how it started. It's not how it started. Okay. Movie first starts, and I'm like, 1932 Mississippi Delta. Why is this kid driving in a vehicle when most folks at that time did not have a car? At least black people didn't have a car. You mostly had, horse and buggy. That's what my grandpa told me. So you can tell he's got like a scar on his face. He's got like blood on him, and he's got a broken off guitar. Yeah, broken off guitar. And he walks to the church, and I'm like, oh my God, I think he's going to stab somebody with that. And the minister is just like, come on in the church. And he looks like he's seen some crap. And then you see flashbacks of like vampires and him running and stuff as he goes up towards the minister. And he's telling him, basically, he said, just let the guitar go, return to God, let the guitar go. And you can see he's fighting about it, and they're hugging each other. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's going to stab him. And then they start with the beginning of the movie. So you have Ryan Coogler, sorry, not Ryan Coogler, Michael P. Jordan. He plays two twins, Smoke and Stack. And they are World War I veterans. And they have basically been working for Al Capone in Chicago. So they had gone to Chicago to live for a while, and they come to town flush with cash. They got fancy cars, and they see their cousin. They pick him up at the church, and he's just like, I thought you had freedom in Chicago. And they were just like, no, sometimes it's better to deal with the devil you know than the devil you don't. And they have all this money, and they bought this sawdust mill from this white guy who looks like Boss Hogg, tries to tell them, there's no KKK. I'm like, yeah, that's a freaking lie at the time. So they're going to open this juke joint and make a ton of money. At least that's what they plan to do. And they get everybody there. There's conflict, there's love triangle, stuff like that. But stuff starts to go wild when some dude shows up out of nowhere in the morning, and his skin's smoking, and he's pleading to be let into somebody's house.
Mm.
And he's like, I'm running from Indians. And they're just like, there's no Choctaw Indian reservation close to here. That's the other one, Choctaw Indians. I'm very familiar with them, Mississippi. And so he gets let in the house, and then later on, these Choctaw Indians come by and they're like, "Have you seen somebody just come up here out of nowhere recently? Because this is, in the middle of nowhere." And lady's like, "No." He said, "Well, whatever you do, don't let that person in the house." He said, "God save you if you let that person in your house." Well, guess what? Dude's a vampire. And not only is he a vampire, basically, she's pretty much the devil. And it goes on from there. So the cousin, who I'm blanking on what his name is, his father tells him, who's a minister, his father tells him, he's just like, if you go down there to that juke joint, basically that den of sin, you can bring the devil back with you. And he gave him that as literally as a warning. And that's where it goes on from there with like the whole vampire things or whatever. But he is
So
basically
they're
in the wrong spot.
so
But he wants to
so
play
they're
music so
vampires.
badly. Mm-hmm.
Huh. They're not
Vampire.
zombies?
No,
They
no, they're
resurrecting vampires?
they're all vampires. They're all
Oh.
vampires. And
Huh.
here's the seductive play that they make, because the one who's the head vampire is just like, I know what it's like down here. People look down on you. They have, all of us fighting each other, but it's just like, you join with me, become one of my people, and it will be perfect, and we will all be equal, and it will be wonderful with harmony and stuff. They really did that. And it was something else. It was really good how they did that, and how they showed how basically the devil has many tongues. And
Mm.
yeah, this movie was really, really good. So when they're talking about sinners, basically all of them that are winded up in that juke joint when they should not be in that particular juke joint. There's also a lot of southern mysticism. Like, my family grew up in the Mississippi Delta. There was this thing about working roots on people. They show this roots, which is basically a form of witchcraft. Okay, and it is.
Mhm. I've heard
And
of that. But I watched, Untold Stories of the ER, and they had an odd case come in, and the patient kept screaming, "The roots, the root," and she was from, like, the islands. Anyway, they ended up bringing in this, like, voodoo doctor with a chicken. I don't know, whatever he did, it cleared up whatever was ailing her. It was weird, really bizarre. I never in my life heard of that. And so what is it exactly?
um it's basically how would I say it? I almost want to say like a subset of like Santeria and voodoo put together.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that
that's
makes
pretty
sense.
much what that is when they're talking about spells and tokens and stuff like that. So I just know a lot of my family members were like, you need to stay prayed up because so and so said they're going to work roots on you. So it's basically, it is a
That's
form.
what I'm asking. What does that mean when they say roots, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's a
What
collect.
is that?
It's like how would I put it? It's like a spell.
Like a
It's like
curse?
yeah, it's like a spell. So a lot of it comes from tribes in West Africa that brought that particular religion back with them. So if
Mhm.
it's just like, how would I put this, for example? Um, oh, I can use this one. So apparently, some lady was accused of trying to seduce the pastor. And
Mhm.
someone said, yeah, well, the pastor's wife went to go see so and so she could get roots put on the lady who's trying to steal her husband.
Hmm.
So it's like that. And
Wow.
it was something that was, yes, it's like a curse or a hex. Kind of like that. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was. Because all I knew was like my family was like, "That's witchcraft. Don't mess with it."
Yeah.
People would try to do that and say that they're trying to do that. Because in the film, you'll see this one lady who looks like she's practicing voodoo, but it looks like a cross between voodoo and Santeria, honestly.
Mhm.
So,
Well, in Santeria, all it is a combination of voodoo and Catholicism.
mhm.
That's basically what it is.
You have a lot of ethnic groups from like West
Yeah.
Africa, like especially Yoruba. That's the main one.
Mm.
And they kind of make like this mix of like Yoruban, ceremonies and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
over here in the New World, it basically mutated into voodoo, Santeria, and roots in the South. But,
Mm.
but it's all the same thing
Mhm.
all together. And with the way that's the way that they portray the church. It's just that no matter how
Mm.
bad of a sinner you are, you can come back, but you need to let that sin go. And he's
Right.
pleading with the son, let the guitar go, let that go. And I'm not going to tell you how the movie ends because you need to see it,
Hmm.
but you can
Interesting.
see that's the setup. He talks about, my dad, he's a preacher. He doesn't want me playing music, but I got this gift. And what it is, it's just like, yes, the music is a gift, but there's certain things in certain music with the way that it's played winds up awaking forces you do not want to mess with.
Oh, there is truth in that.
And that is exactly
Mm.
the theme in this film. It was scary in a way. It really was, especially if you grew up in the Mississippi Delta or you had grandparents who were from the Mississippi Delta. There's certain music they did not want you playing. Certain music you could not listen to. Certain music you couldn't
Oh,
play in
yeah.
church.
It's same you could say that, yeah, even nowadays, you could even say that there are certain, bands I've
They
warned our son about, but that's going down a different rabbit hole. Yeah, Blade before Blade, haha. Yeah.
well, not
True?
really.
Maybe?
No,
I don't know.
no, 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 no pregnant lady getting bitten by a vampire. Not that. More like the adage that you have to invite a vampire into your house.
Yeah, mhm. Does that applies here?
Yes.
Oh, but that makes sense because at least in the Christian world, um, when it comes to embracing evil, like, you have to invite it in. It there's a level of, invitation. That's funny.
Yeah, like
I'm
Dusk
intrigued
Before
by this
Dawn.
movie now because of, the religious undertones and, like, I guess how they capture, um but then the whole vampire thing, oh gosh, this is so crazy. It's like they're mixing so many different elements, but it works.
It
From what
does
I
work.
gather from you, it worked really
It
well.
does work. I'm glad it wasn't voodoo because frankly, that's been done to death.
Mhm.
But one of the things that I like about this is the emphasis on spiritual warfare. And you can see that stuff is not going to end well for these people. And the preacher keeps telling his son. As a matter of fact, there's a scene where he has his son read something out in the Bible. And shame on me for forgetting what passage it was, but it was extremely important. And he's like, son, if you go down there to that juke joint, you know, playing the devil's music, you're going to wind up bringing the devil back with you. And he didn't really understand what that meant. But let's just say this young man wound up doing some stuff he had no business doing, no place he should not have been there, yet he was. And oh man, it was cool. You have these, you have these vampires, but the head vampire is pretty much like the devil himself. It's
Mhm.
interesting how he'll talk to people. He'll talk to them in their native language. That's another thing that was creepy as hell. But yeah, you see that that whole
Yeah,
struggle that's going on with this young
I
man. It's just
understand the
like,
psychological.
mhm.
But I mean, that is the reality of spiritual warfare. It is very much a psychological warfare in many regards. It's funny the music thing because Lucifer was a seraphim angel. He was God's most was it highly intelligent and talented angel, and he just got jealous, didn't like God, and fell from his grace. So it's just kind of interesting how the movie kind of parallels what we already know. Huh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
kind of cool.
I really like that because first they tried to say, oh well, it's those are haints, which are supposedly evil spirits, which is why certain
They
places in
call
the
him
South
what?
like you have
Hank?
haints, Haints. I had no freaking idea what
I've
that is.
never heard of that.
I didn't know what that
No, I've
was
never heard of that.
before. It's
Mm.
supposedly
Huh.
like evil spirits, and you paint your house a certain color, like a certain color blue,
Cool.
supposedly to repel them. It's
Warded up. Huh.
yes, to like ward, yeah, to ward them off. It is one of the weirdest things I'd
Well,
never even
there's
heard
a
of.
lo there's a lot about Southern I mean, being raised in Florida, you don't really get this side of, like, Southern history and culture.
Yeah, that's
That's really
one of the
intriguing.
things that I will say that I did like about this film because I'm like, are they going to make a farce, of the South? But they captured it very, very actively. There's a reason why the South is called the Bible Belt. Okay.
Mhm.
And even personally, there's a marked difference between, I would say, between how religion is or Christianity is in the North and how it is in the South. In the South, it's basically don't mess with Jesus. Christmas, Easter, that's serious. They go all out. Pretty much you are expected to go to church every Sunday, Wednesday night too. But it is part
Mhm.
of the culture. But another
Yeah.
part of the culture, especially when you have people who come from different areas of the world, certain
Mm.
practices that they bring with them, and not all of them are good. So we have a lot in the Delta where it's just like, don't go there, don't go to this place here, don't open yourself up to spiritual attacks because these forces are real and they're nothing to mess with. Like somebody asked me, do
Yeah.
you believe in ghosts? I said, no, I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in demons. And this
Yeah.
guy, Smoke and Stack, they're just like,
Mhm.
no, I don't believe in ghosts or, stuff like that. I believe in money. And you know what the Bible says about money,
Wow.
right?
Mm.
That is in this one. And yes, it is Southern Gothic. That's exactly it in a nutshell. It is truly,
Southern Gothic.
truly Southern Gothic. Totally. Totally. Yeah,
Please
he
tell me there's a
was.
happy ending. It's not one of those movies where everybody dies at the end and it's just really depressing. As long as good conquers evil, I'm good. I like a happy ending.
Let's see. I know it wasn't vampires, but what was the evil force in Toni Morrison's Beloved? Was there voodoo involved? It wasn't voodoo, it was some
Mm.
kind of mysticism. But honestly, I tried to read Toni Morrison's Beloved, and that was such a big piece of crap. I could not read it. It was horrible. It was horrible. Not voodoo, but basically this what's it got? This one lady, she was oh my gosh, going from the movie, the Oprah Winfrey character. Uh she basically tried to yeet her kids because she found out that they were being sold away from her. And she would rather yeet them than let them be sold off. And the older kids lived through that attack, but the youngest one was infant, did not. So supposedly the ghost of that particular baby came back to haunt the house, and that's in Beloved. I could not read that
You
darn book. You want to talk about some run-on sentences and all kinds of no, don't ever read a Toni Morrison book. Read a Toni Morrison poem, but don't read a Toni Morrison book. She's not Alice Walker. I mean, I got issues with Alice Walker, but at least Alice Walker can actually write real good. Yes, I knew Robert Johnson, the Delta blues legend. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Sinner's Review, Michael B. Jordan doubles the magnetism in Ryan Coogler's audacious journey into a community's violated soul. Haley Stenfield, she killed it in this movie. She totally killed it. I mean, to set things up, she is she looks white. Her character looks white, but she's actually not. She's technically Creole. Both of her parents were like half black, half white. So because she looks the way that she does, certain places she's accepted and other places she can possibly cause problems. But because the people there know her, she kind of gets, she kind of gets a little bit of a pass. That you also see, you even see the Chinese in the Mississippi Delta. And a lot of people don't know about this. But,
No, I don't.
I didn't know about it until some of it came back in my DNA test, and I'm like, "What the heck is this?" Well, the Chinese have been in, like, New Orleans or the Delta area since the Spanish were there.
Huh.
But at the end of the Civil War, what also happened is because you had, slavery was over, a lot of these plantations needed labor, so they started importing, people from Italy, India, and China. And from what my grandfather told me, they had like a Chinese grocery in their town where they could actually go, not be harassed. And the Chinese were pretty much the intermediators between white and black. They could move between both. It was very interesting how they did that. So much diversity that's already there, including the Irish that moved there. Who weren't already there. How they weave that all together was freaking brilliant. Absolutely, absolutely brilliant. Blue soaked spirituality. Yes, yes, yes. And yeah. This is a pretty freaking good movie. Original feature, not based on real life events or existing IP, and packs it with enough thematic layers and genre fluidity to fuel at least 3 movies. But I will say this just needs to be one film. I don't want to see a sequel to this. I really don't. It's crazy how it goes from this juke joint and people so into the music they almost seem possessed to the point where it attracts attention from vampire. And wow, this is such a good movie. I mean, there just is. World War One. We have black veterans of World War One. They like went over to Europe and they were treated differently, and then they come back here and they come back to the South, and they're basically still treated as second-class citizens, even though they served the country. But wow, this and Delroy Lindo is in this.
Is there a reason why they released the movie during this time of year versus like the fall, like Halloween season, or even like just before fall hits, since it's in the horror genre?
That's what I don't like. Because I know that the Haunted Mansion remake, it was not released around
I
Halloween. It
know.
should have. It switched
That
places with the marbles. And I'm like, this makes
that
no
annoyed me.
This makes no sense. It made absolutely zero sense.
It's I
And
almost felt like they did it on purpose because they wanted it to fail because it wasn't a
they
movie
did.
that was riddled with all of the messaging and their agenda. So it's like they wanted it. And it was actually a decent movie. I mean,
Yeah, I liked it.
kinda hard it's kinda hard to storyline an attraction like that, and I think what they came up with was actually really cute. It was a cute movie. I would watch it again.
I
Um,
had fun watching
but
watching
gosh,
the
wha
movie.
like, but they really like, there was no hardly any advertising for it, and it came around in July.
Yeah, no
I'm like,
advertising.
"What?"
Yeah, you would hardly know that the film was coming out, but when I saw the movie and I did a review, I said one of the reasons why Disney didn't really do a lot of advertisement for the Haunted Mansion because one, you have a strong black male lead who actually acts like a protector, tries to protect everybody. You've got the other characters as well that are in there, and no one's denigrating anybody, anybody else.
Mhm.
And this man, of course, he runs into Rosario Dawson and her son, and they moved into, this like haunted mansion. And the kid's like freaked out. So he goes and, he talks to the kid and, he starts to, be able to relate to this young man. But there was no woke BS or I say activist entertainment at all. And it reminded me actually of like a Disney Channel movie from like the 90s
Yeah.
when they were doing those
Mhm.
cheesy movies and they were just fun,
Yeah, but they were
to
cute.
like
They were
sit
fun,
there.
yeah.
Mhm. Which they did. So that was fun, but that was at the crux of it. There were no, you know, LGBTQ plus Skittles Nation
Yeah,
agenda that
it
was,
was
that was in it.
it was a safe movie, but, that's why I feel like, you know what, because it was a safe movie, you wanted it to fail because you wanna keep promoting all the crap people don't wanna watch,
Mhm.
just so they could say, "Oh, it was a flop and that didn't work." I don't know, I just like, they're so ass backwards in that company, it's
They really are. It's like if you claim to want to do diversity, Disney only wants to do diversity their way. So when you have, well, in fact, if you have strong males in general, they don't like that. They like the
oh,
whole
yeah.
girl boss model,
Mhm.
which is why they're losing money like hand over fist. And I don't know why Warner Brothers did not hold this movie until spooky season because it fits
Yeah.
perfectly. You know, fits totally perfectly. There's nothing agenda-wise in this movie except the story. That's it. And the story had me guessing several different things. I'm like, is it this? Is it that? Is this gonna happen? Is that gonna happen? It's got good old-fashioned, jump scares in it, as well, including one really, really nerve-wracking scene where they think that the body that they dragged out, they thought a vampire had
Mhm.
attacked it, and that the vampire was one of them that was still in the juke joint, so they basically had to go around eating garlic to see which one.
Um, ugh.
It was so funny, but yet it was a great, suspense building type of scene that's in there, and first of all, the music is dead on. When you hear the music, you feel like you're in the 1930s with
That
the
did appeal to me. I would the music, yeah, they seem to have really done a really good job, and the costuming and just
yeah, the costuming, the cinematography is gorgeous. It is
yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. It looks just like when I would go there to visit family. I didn't really want to stay there, but I mean, it was like a different world. Kid from the Philly suburbs, and you're, you know, in the middle of nowhere in the Mississippi Delta. It's a weird kind of place, but it's very beautiful. beautiful place. So you can tell they spent the money on on the cinematography, on the costuming. Again, Ruth Carter did the costuming. She's like an Oscar award, multiple Oscar award winning. Oh my gosh, with wardrobe costuming.
Mhm.
At that, Ludwig Göransson did the score. He did the score for oh my gosh. Oh, shoot, what's that dude's daggone it.
Mhm.
Oppenheimer. He did the score for Oppenheimer. He did the score for
Oh,
um
geez.
the oh my gosh, The Mandalorian. He did the score for Black Panther. Uh he's done a lot of stuff. And this soundtrack, I got to give him props because he did a soundtrack where in one part of the film was all the people in the juke joint. He goes through the music genres that each ethnicity in the juke joint has historically, like back to ancient times, to fast forwarded to modern times, and even did a part where he combined blues music with I would say, was it Irish step dancing music? Is that what was it? Like river dance,
Mhm.
like river dance, Irish dance, folded it in with that. And wow. I mean, and it was good. They did not
I'm just
half-ass it.
amazed. I'm amazed at the budget of the film, and just based on the trailer alone, it looks like a very high quality, well-made film. And I know horror films can tend to be kinda all over the place with their quality, but, this one looks like it was very well put together. I mean, I thought it was like a drama at first. Ooh, it's really cool, like, period drama, and I'm thinking it's gonna be some kind of forbidden love story, and it ends up being this horror thing, you
Oh,
know?
there's some
But,
of that in it.
um but then I look at Disney stuff, and I'm like, "I don't know what y'all are doing over there that's so daggum expensive to put out a movie," but then you got, like, these movies that are coming out, and
It's
they're very well put together, and everything just, from the music to the costuming to, like, everything, and it's like, I don't know what Disney is doing, but it's just kinda weird. It's almost suspicious. Like, why is it so daggum expensive for your movies, but yet you guys other studios that are able to pull off high quality movies for just a
Mhm.
fraction of the price. I don't know, it's kinda weird.
That's like
Very
what
strange to me.
that's like what the director of Godzilla Minus One said. They made that movie for $17 million. The excuse me, the producer that did the director that did the movie Flow, which was that like French the one about the cat, the black cat, and it's just animals in it, no people. They use free render software to do that. I think with Blender. And he said, yeah, we had to control costs because, we don't have bloated Disney budgets. He purposely called out Disney about that. Disney just thinks that money is just coming in from everywhere and they can just throw it around willy-nilly. But you get interesting because Ryan Coogler has done stuff for Disney. Of course, he was directing, Black Panther and everything. So I find it interesting they didn't back this, or maybe he didn't want to do a deal with them. But in the end, this movie hits on so many cylinders. There are some sexual tension parts in this film. Again, don't bring your kids, okay? But it's germane to the plot. I mean, you've got people who how would they say it? What was it in Proverbs? Beware the married woman who cannot keep her feet at home.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Mm,
that is
I'm gonna keep my
definitely.
mouth shut.
There's so much that's in there with this film. Again, it's in one of my top 10 horror movies. I just love it. Again, it's the whole package. It's not something that you expect, but it's definitely a great representation of the South. And Darth Plato says diversity is a racket. I'll put it to you like this: diversity for diversity's sake is a racket. In this film, because of where the setting is, diversity is already there, and it's accurate. That's what got me, is that it was really, really accurate. Some people are probably like, "What do you mean there's Chinese people speaking with a Southern accent?" Yeah, I know plenty of them. Okay, plenty of them. You would not
Right.
know that they have this thick Southern accent and the same Southern mannerisms. It's something else. Really, something else. Yes, I did hear about that. Two of the largest formats in cinema. So Sinners is, I believe it's going to be in IMAX in some places. I didn't have an IMAX theater to see it in, but it's definitely worth seeing in IMAX. I really do want to see it. The soundtrack, I need to get that. I need to download that soundtrack. It is amazing. The blues tracks in it are so good, but the overall score is awesome. And again, there's this big, huge number where the vampire brings out, you know, all of the vampires he basically made, and you look in there, everybody from every group, and yet they're doing this like Irish step dance sequence, and everyone's in sync, and it's freaking awesome. It really is. So that's my review about Sinners, because I can say some stuff that some folks can't do or won't do. But I will say this: it is authentic, and that was going to be my issue: is this authentic? Is it going to represent? I would say truly represent what that area of the country in Mississippi Delta looked like in the 1930s. Because there's other
Mm.
themes that that play around. Like you see houses that were remnants of plantation houses, like slave quarters and plantation houses. That happened. That is true. You had sharecroppers that would move, into that moved into those houses. And you see like all these fields of cotton that sharecroppers are working. They're like, I got a quota. I can't be, hanging out at your juke joint. They're like, yeah, well, what if I pay you so and so and such and such? And that money was like was like the lure. But all of it's authentic. So you can say Lorena said it's authentic because Lorena has relatives who live there, and Lorena's actually visited there. Unfortunately, it felt like the end of civilization
Mm.
because of just I'm used to so many street lights and everything, and I'm like in Gulfport, Mississippi, Biloxi, Mississippi, and I'm like, where's the street light?
Yeah, that's the only part of Mississippi. Well, I've been to Picayune, Mississippi, and in Biloxi, Gulfport, because that's where Keesler Air Force Base is.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Those are the only areas I've been to.
That's yeah. Now it looks different.
Yeah,
All the
and
casinos and
then
everything now on the waterfront, but before there used to be nothing, and it was dark, and there were all kinds of critters that I didn't want to see. And I just stay at my great grandmother's house, which I swear I was going to step on a wood plank and go through the bottom of the house. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, that's what this house was like. So I was like, can we please go back to Philadelphia? And we can live here. Oh, wait, trigger warnings?
oh
Oh no,
yeah,
that didn't happen at my theater. I don't know why. That's ridiculous. There's no trigger warning that's needed. What flaming
trigger
heterosexuality?
warning for what? Like like sexual content, the occulticism stuff.
I would love to find
like
out what this trigger warning is.
the religion thing. I don't know. Like if you can't watch the
Smoking.
trailer and know what you're walking into, then like do you,
I would love to know what trigger warning it it is, because I would love to freaking go through that. Oh yeah, going shogi. There's a lot of them in Jamaica. They speak Jamaican patois. Yeah, they do. They do. Which reminds me, Naomi Campbell, her grandfather's Han Chinese. She's from Jamaica.
oh
In case
wow.
folks didn't know. Yes. Yes, her father is a Han Chinese. Mm. Another point to add, in the South, especially in Mississippi, you had some of the Chinese who came over, but because of some kind of law, I forget, in the late 1800s, it banned any immigration from China for 10 years. So you had a lot of single Chinese men in the South who wound up marrying Black women. A lot of people don't know about that, but yeah, that actually happened. Filipinos had a remote village south of New Orleans. It was destroyed in the 1911 hurricane. Yes, that's Santa Malo, which is another place I have to actually research. But yeah, that was a very, very mixed place. People don't know, but yeah, it was. Let's see. Biloxi keeps poor old Mississippi financially afloat, barely. Yep, with all those casinos, it does. Yeah, Biloxi is
I
an
haven't been
place.
back since Hurricane Katrina. That was such a bizarre thing. I remember rafting in tech school and we're driving down that coastline. And I distinctly remember as a typical Floridian, I said, you know what? All it takes is one good hurricane, the whole place would be obliterated. And I shit you not. Like a year later, Hurricane Katrina hit category 5. And I just
Mhm.
sat there like, wow.
Especially how close to sea level it
Yeah,
is.
that was my thing was how close. Uh, I mean, I get that in Florida you have, you kind of have that too, the beach towns like, Anna Maria Island and
Mhm.
Naples, Florida and stuff, but this was just, I don't know, that long stretch of highway and the water was it's just right there. And I just had this eerie gut feeling one day it's all it's gonna take is one hurricane and it's just gonna obliterate this area. And sure enough, I guess they were able to rebuild everything back up because you
I think
know,
they did. I don't think it
I
got hit
remember the
as
casino.
badly as Katrina, because New Orleans took the direct hit. Biloxi is about 75 miles, but also New Orleans is under sea level. Who
Yeah.
would ever want to
Mhm.
make a settlement in an area that's below sea level on one side and a big old lake on the other? French are crazy.
I don't know, ask Valiant.
I d I don't get it. I don't get it. In New Orleans, you can't bury people in the ground. You have to bury them above ground or else,
And above ground.
floating and stuff like that. But that's the only place. Like Mississippi, you don't see that. Alabama, you don't
Florida.
you don't see that. Like, Mobile. I think the bridge started in Mobile, Alabama. But my mom was just like, she's looking at all the water. She's like, it's like we turned the corner to go on the bridge and the water was right there. She's just like, I can't
Mm.
deal with it. I can't deal
Nope.
with it. I'm like, man, there's a lot of water out here. Sounds like the Chinese Exclusion Act. Yes, that's exactly what it was. The Chinese Exclusion Act. Passed in the US, I think, what, 18, I think it was the 1800s. Um, that it was passed. Let's see, lasted longer than 10 years. Yeah, I don't know when it was repealed, uh, but it lasted well over a decade. Biloxi rebuilt extremely fast after Katrina. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because they weren't under, they're not
Mhm.
below, sea level, but they're close to a lot of water. So I'm not surprised that they built back that quickly. Uh, hmm. Let's see. Well, Boulder, let's see. First Corinthians 4:20, Paul emphasizes the kingdom of God is about power, and sinners, it seems to be a statement of subtext about the powerlessness of Christianity, a rejection of Christianity. Um,
Right.
I I wouldn't call it a rejection completely of Christianity because oh my gosh, and I'm forgetting the cousin's name, but the cousin was basically given a choice. And God gives us free will. And he was presented with all the evidence with what he saw, with what he had been taught in church, the scriptures that his father had like taught him. But yes, it was a very, very conscious, choice. Have to read more than a verse. Well, I don't have it up right now. I
Yeah.
didn't give it to me, but in general, what this is about, and especially in the Mississippi Delta area, first of all, Christianity is very big. There's always that path to redemption. There's a choice. You have a choice whether to acknowledge God's power or not. And
Right.
those who did not, well, you'll see what happens to them
I
in the movie.
mean,
But in the end,
even
that person
Satan
choice. Yeah,
recognizes God's power. He just hates it. He knows it. He just hates it.
yeah. You can quote scripture. But the cousin, devil basically said, "Oh, I've been waiting for you.
Wow.
I'm
I think
waiting."
that there's a lot of symbolism in the movie. Like if
There's a
a
lot of
Christian
it.
is watching it, there's a lot of layers and like symbolism.
Hmm. There's a lot, and especially if you've grown up in that particular area. Soon as they
Mhm.
said juke joints, like no, they tell you to never, never go there. The type of roots, Santeria, voodoo, all of that stuff that goes on. It's like it's not something to take lightly. It's not something that it's like, oh, that's just something stupid up there. No, no, that stuff is real. It's very, very,
Yes.
very real. And
It's
I
about
have grand,
control.
yeah,
It's
yeah, it's
yeah.
totally,
It's
totally about
it's
control.
a need for control for your own life. A lot of people that have been through traumas can easily fall because one of the side effects of dealing with a trauma is control. And it gives you that sense of control, and it's a false control, but, you know, it's,
And that's in the
not
movie
something I would
too.
mess with.
There's
Nope.
a lot of trauma,
Mhm.
that some of the characters
Everybody has
deal with.
trauma. Everybody deals with trauma on some
Mhm.
level in this world and in this life. How we choose to cope with it, that's our choice. And that cannot be blamed on anyone else but us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. How widespread was voodoo in the 30s on the mainland? Voodoo came from Haiti. Yes, voodoo
Good
came
question.
from Haiti. Voodoo also came to French Louisiana through Haiti, especially when the Haitian Revolution popped off. A lot of people
Mhm.
romanticize the Haitian Revolution. The Haitian Revolution was a living hell for my family because there were some people who were being killed simply because they had French parentage. So
Damn.
they had to leave Haiti. And where did they go? New Orleans. So they brought
Okay.
they brought that with them to New Orleans. So that's how it got to be there. That's why when you go to New Orleans, you see, the Voodoo Museum, Marie Laveau, who was the most famous voodoo priestess, and you can actually go and see her grave. So that's where that came from. Because with my particular family, is why I love researching this stuff. You can see where people go, where they wind up, what they have going on. That's how voodoo got to America.
Mm. And
Basically,
more specifically to the New Orleans area. I've always wondered that, like, how in the world did New Orleans get this reputation of, like, all this voodoo stuff? So I guess that's the history. What?
that's the history. And oh my gosh. So yeah, they came to New Orleans basically after the Haitian Revolution. And because it was seen as such a New Orleans, there's a reason why New Orleans had a reputation as a cesspool because you had voodoo. Now, what I understand from watching some documentaries about Haiti is that you have some Haitians who do not see a conflict between voodoo and Catholicism. So they'll do both. And they don't really see a conflict about that. So French settling New Orleans, obviously Catholic. Although you had some people who were slaves that, they're like, no, you're not doing that voodoo nonsense right here. No, 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 no. But that's where it came from. So you had voodoo, which came to
Mm.
Haiti. Of course, you had Santeria that actually came to that came to Florida. So that's how uh, that's how it happened, and that's how it got there. And if you don't think voodoo was all that popular, go to New Orleans. You can't swing a dead cat around without hitting a voodoo museum or some kind of apothecary or
Good.
something like that. It just says, "Oh, thank you, Phil." It says, "I love this show. It's so interesting." Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate
I
that.
always learn something new too. I love if I had a history teacher like you, I would have actually learned something.
Some
I
history teachers
hated
are
history
boring.
growing up, and
Just
some of
like,
them were just boring. They didn't know how to deliver it in a way that was interesting for me to even care about it, so it just never landed, you
because they
know?
teach like a lot of dates and stuff like that. Although I have to say, I had history teachers who were just like, "Look, forget the dates. You have to actually see what's going on here and what's involved." Haitian Revolution, yes. Yes, Darth Plato, there was a mass killing of white people on the island. There were
Mm.
also a mass killing of a lot of Creoles on the island. So that's another thing that is not talked about. And there's several cases because the Creoles, because they had French blood, especially if they were black mixed with French and they had French blood, they could not be trusted. So a lot of the revolutionaries, like Toussaint, were going around killing them. They're like, you have French blood, we kill you too. Yeah. So that's why my family fled Haiti. It was a living hell. I don't care how people try to
Mm.
romanticize it. Not all of them were down with the Haitian Revolution. That's why some of them went over to the Spanish side and fought for Spain. History is something else. Yep, one side, Dominican Republic is green, Haiti is brown. You can tell the difference. Yeah. Yeah. Dominican Republic, all about their money.
Mm.
They really, really are.
I honestly have had 0 historical context on Haiti, like 0. So I'm learning all this stuff for the first time tonight. It's really fascinating. And we never talked about this in school. It was never brought up. We
It's
never.
I don't know about you, but the only time that Haiti got brought up was when we talk about the Louisiana Purchase. That's the only time that it's brought up because Napoleon wasn't he had to deal with
I
that.
don't even remember that.
That's why he
Yeah.
sold off. That's why he sold the Louisiana Purchase. Although there was a portion of it where the United States was trying to figure out who owned it because Spain owned some stuff, the French owned some stuff. There was some kind of secret treaty, and they had to figure out exactly who owned what, which is why I think was it my third great grandfather or whatever, no fourth, because he had left Connecticut and was gone for years and was buying land from the Spaniards in Mississippi, like around there. But once America came to him, he had to actually prove that, pull up like all the records and stuff like that. Hey, Florentin, good to see
Hey.
you. I should say Florentin. But yes, Haiti was the crown jewel of France because it got all that money from sugar and molasses.
Okay.
And that was rich. And you also had a class of women or a class of people called Jean de Couleur, but class of people where they had French parentage, like they had French fathers. So some of them actually got sent to France to be educated. Some of them had a lot of money, and it didn't sit well so, with some folks. There's so much history that yes, there is a
Yeah.
fun.
I feel like in school we just kind of get the highlights, without really going too deep. But like our parents seem to have gotten more. Seems like with each passing generation, they just kind of graze the surface, and it just gets weaker and weaker.
Yeah, it does, and it's a shame, but it's like we have the internet and we can look up this stuff. And I have to give Ryan Coogler credit because one of the things that he showed in this movie was that even at this point in time in the South, you didn't see people purposely trying to yeet other people. Yes, you had Klan, of course, but they were not idolized, at all. You saw different classes of people, for lack of a better term, want to go hang out at the juke joint. They all wanted to go. They all wanted to go and stay there together. But it's a very accurate portrayal of the South, excuse me, in that time. So very interesting. I highly suggest it. It's in one of my top 10 horror movies because of the way that they did it. It was just it was really different. That element that they put in there. So all right. Oh my gosh. I've been talking my head off, haven't I? But I think it's important that you have context for this film from someone who has ancestry from that area, the type of legends, the types of stories that they would, say, and to give you a proper context for what it is. Again, in case someone tries to say it's woke, no, it is not. There's nothing woke about the Jim Crow South in 1930.
Why would they say it's woke anyways? I didn't get those vibes at all.
I didn't, but you'll hear some
Like
people
what?
who will say that just because there's a black cast, which is really sad to
Well,
say.
there were black people in the 1930s.
I know you would think some folks would know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like the people, like if you have people who would try to tell you that there were no Chinese in Mississippi in the 1930s, no, you're wrong. Totally wrong. How I know that? Because they had some restaurants, and my grandfather said black people could actually go and eat in a Chinese restaurant and not be disturbed. So, just to let you know. VR Guy says, I knew about the massacre wrapped up in revolution, but I had no idea that was inadvertently a major reason why voodoo spread to New Orleans. Love learning new stuff. But you are very welcome.
Mhm.
You're very welcome.
You should start another channel called History with Lorena.
Oh, that may be coming after I get through a ton of
Dude, my
ton of
dad would be all over that because he is a walking history encyclopedia. That man just reads, and I mean books. I'm not talking internet stuff. He likes books. Reads and reads and reads and reads. Bookworm. And
Mhm.
it's all history books. That is the only thing he reads is history books. I've told him for years, I'm like, you missed your calling. You know, you could have been a history teacher. You could have taught I know that professors don't typically make a ton of money, but in comparison to an X-ray tech, I'm like, dude, you would have loved teaching history more than being an X-ray tech. At least you would have done what you loved.
Mhm.
I've told my dad, you could have been a great like history, like at a university or something, history teacher. And
Well, I think your dad would love a book called Spain and the American Revolution.
he's probably already read it. That man
It's
read
really
so
true.
many books. And mom, if you're still in the chat, ask daddy.
Yeah, I had to get that book again because you had records from my family that were not in English. And, my fifth great grandfather who, well, he had fun, giving comfort to patriots, and the English governor of East Florida didn't like that. But he said, too bad, no steak for you if you do. You do. But I think it's important to show how different people, I won't say arrived in America. America basically came to them. So it's important to show all that stuff because not all of it was taught in school because one, not a lot of people knew, and two, a lot of people, especially up north, didn't freaking care.
Yeah.
So you notice in history class during the revolution that you never learn about Spain's involvement in the American Revolution.
I've brain dumped all that. I couldn't even tell you what yeah, I know. Like my brain is just
They never tell you. They never tell you. They never tell you that gold and silver from Cuba was put on American ships and they had to go through the Bahamas that was being patrolled by British ships. They had to get that gold from Cuba all the way up the US, up the coastline to pay the French Navy at Yorktown. But you would never know that because a diplomat called John Jay had basically effed up relations between the new United States and France, and Spain, even though they were on very good terms. It's really interesting, all the stuff that we found out about that. It's just like I'm like, I've never heard of Spain involved with the American Revolution. It's a very
yeah,
interesting story.
that's an
Very interesting
the
story.
local right are super annoying, and many of them have YouTube channels. I eat the rage tubers.
Yes.
Rage tubers.
Rage
What's that?
tubers. Oh, let's put it this way. We'll say SJWs, but on the right, so to speak. It's like brothers from the same mother, pretty much is what it is. And they have to, key off of everything. And, that doesn't seem like it's like, for the example that I gave, it's like you have, Blackie the movie. Oh, it's woke. Really? Really?
Oh, okay. I see what you're
That
saying. It'll be
that
like an echo chamber for that
yeah.
kind. Okay.
Female lead. Oh, it's gonna be woke. Not necessarily, but you have a group of people who feed off of that.
I honestly would like to see more I love dramas, and I love period dramas, and kinda wish this movie was more that genre than the horror
With
thing.
the vampire, yeah, I know, and they kind of pulled that in there. But again, if
But
you want a film that accurately portrays the South and it is like a period
mhm.
drama and reads like a mystery novel. There's a movie called Devil in a Blue Dress.
Hmm.
That one is really good. I think is Denzel
And
Washington?
that's just a drama? It's not like a horror flick?
No, it's a complete drama. And it's a mystery actually as well. Oh, yes, I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna wrap this stream up. Yeah, if you're a channel member, I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks, I'm actually going to be doing some snippets about my family's history because man, you
I
can go
gotta get
far
on it with that
try.
and do interviews with my parents, especially my dad, because
Oh, I'd love to
my
actually.
family history and get it documented just so we have it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I'm like, so records in Cuba, but I don't know if I can get those. But yes, you would love this. If you don't want to deal with the vampire thing that's in Sinners. This is another movie called Devil in a Blue Dress, which is really good. It's based on a Walter Mosley novel. It's a
Okay.
it is a mystery. Denzel Washington is in it, Tom Sizemore is in it, Jennifer Beals is in it. Also, Don Cheadle is in this as a character called
Mm.
Mouse, who is just crazy. But I think you would really like this one.
See, I'm
It's
all
really
for a
good.
good drama, like 1930s, 40s, you know? I
Mhm.
mean, capture, all spectrums of what was going on back then from, Black community to white, whatever, I don't care, it's like a good
Mhm.
drama, you know? I don't
Yeah.
care about the whole Star Wars thing, the Marvel stuff, but
Mm-mm.
this kind of thing is, this would draw me in, yeah, I'm definitely gonna,
This is
watch
good.
this.
I really enjoyed watching that one. Uh, Most history classes also don't teach the French were back in the Confederacy during the Civil War because of the cotton trade. Plus, the South was very amenable to France.
Hmm.
Britain, it was kind of like, cool, so cool with the Queen. But that was one of the things that the South had to worry about because their cotton was fetching high prices in the market. But another thing that people also don't know is that you had cotton that was picked in the South, shipped to factories in the North, like Lowell, Massachusetts, turned into cloth that was then shipped overseas to like the likes of UK and France, ready to wear clothes that were made from that cloth. People made profits off of that, who lent money, basically wrote mortgages to plantation owners in the South. And guess what they put up as collateral for the mortgages and for that money? Slave labor. It's all connected. And no one talks about the North's involvement in it. But yes, cotton was the biggest export from the United States, especially the South. Fetched a lot of money. There's a reason why they call it King Cotton. Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard from her in the longest time. I think last time she was overseas having the time of her life. So I hope she's doing good. Let's see. One more thing. It's understandable how some people's yeah, it is a very dangerous and slippery slope to start down. You need to question what you see, not make a snap judgment based off of pieces of information. That's why when some people are like, why do you see that really awful movie? I said, well, I see that really awful movie so I can say I saw it, and I can actually have a coherent,
Mhm.
and intellectually honest conversation.
I mean, even if it's a fiction movie, that's a period movie, but a drama, I'm totally fine with that. Just like a good story and um
And that
like I
is
sat down and I watched that one movie everyone's talking about with Blake Lively, the It Ends With Us.
oh, how was that?
It was a good movie. I sat down, I thought it was really good. I mean, if you just take all the behind the scenes drama, just watch the movie for what it is. It was really good. It was, nothing wrong with it. And
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that was another one I saw recently. It
I'd
was
seen the advertisement for it. And I'm like, it's okay. Yes, thank you, Kiss My Grits. You need to watch Eve's Bayou too. Yes, that's good.
drama.
Thriller.
Okay, when you say thriller, what do you have to be specific? What do
There's
you mean by thriller?
it's like a mystery with some stuff that's
Okay.
going on there.
Mystery is one thing. When I hear thriller, I'm like, I'm gonna get scared.
No, it's not like that.
That's not scare the shit
Put
out
it
of
this
me.
way, people are scary with the kind of stuff that they wanna do, or that they get caught up in and involved in. And plus you get a good look again at how Creoles are in there. What was I looking for? I think I saw that. I think I saw everything here.
It's
So
funny. Dan's like, "With the kingdom." I think I'm not gonna lie. My brain went there because 'cause I'm tired.
I think there's a mention of Voodoo and Eve's Bayou as well. I remember, but yeah, oh my goodness. Hang on, I'm gonna show this really, really, really quick.
The breaking news?
Wow. No, this is Eve's
Oh.
Bayou. Samuel L. Jackson
Oh,
is in this
wow. Hang
movie.
on a second.
So Samuel L. Jackson is in it. What did little Eve see and how will it haunt her? Husband, father, and womanizer Louis Batiste, yes, that's a Creole last name, is the head of an affluent family, but it's the women who rule this gothic world of secrets, lies, and mystic forces.
Ooh.
It's just gonna be so good. I need
Huh.
to see it again because I haven't seen it in a while, but it was
I've never
good.
seen
It was good. Lynn Whitfield is in this. Juicy Smouye sisters in this. Journey Smollett. I call him Juicy Smouye because that's what Dave Chappelle calls him. You know the French actor, Juicy Smouye.
No, mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, what was his name?
Unless I saw the face, maybe I would
Smollett,
recognize.
but I think she is even this one. But yes, this is good. Very accurate. Wonderful performance by Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, just absolutely, absolutely perfect. So yeah, you got to try Eve's Bayou. Where is this on? It's on Peacock. It's on the Roku channel. For free on the Roku channel. Plex
Okay,
TV.
Prime Video.
Oh yeah, it's on Prime Video too,
Prime.
which means
I'd have to watch on the computer because
okay, since we're
the
nearby.
German I doubt it's on the German Prime, and I can only use the VPN successfully on the computer for American Prime. I know, the whole technology is freaking quirky.
The French actor, I know him. You have to see the Dave Chappelle routine where he talks about oh my gosh. I even blanked on his first name because I keep calling Juicy Smouye. Smollett. I think it's him. Smollett family. Jussie Smollett. Was it Jussie Smollett? Yes, it was Jussie Smollett. That's why we call him Juicy Smouye. course, that's what Dave Chappelle called him. You know, Juicy Smouye, the French actor. Yep. So took the bus today from Universal to Helios. You are literally inside Epic Universe. Never been at a resort where you have the park in front of you. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I may have to have people do that. Okay, well, we certainly did run over a whole lot. We segued a lot, but I hope you guys got to enjoy it. Sinners, I would give it a unbiased review 8 out of 10, biased review 9 out of 10 because I give them bonus points for the amazing soundtrack, gorgeous cinematography, and very period accurate. Unbiased 8 out of 10. There were a couple of elements that I could see coming that weren't really a surprise, but I think because I'm predisposed to what that area is like in real life. So here we go. Erica, what you got going on that folks know about?
Oh, nothing. Just dream happened. I know, even though I had my conversation with Chat GPT and its wonderful little YouTube schedule it did for me. Who would have thought AI would be so freaking helpful like that? Now I just got to work up the courage to put content back up on the channel. So.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You can definitely do it.
Just stream hopping right now. Same old, same old.
But she's got good stuff on her channel for sure. Especially, again, I keep saying this, but it's true. Perennial recipe. And of course, her Halloween decorations. I take notes from her because I'm just like, that's so freaking cool.
I'm already brainstorming and with Tom F, by the way, who's my behind the scenes engineer. Yeah, we're already plotting for Halloween. Of course, my luck, I'm planning Halloween 2025 and watch. We're going to be PCSing. So there may not be a Halloween this year, but I'm still planning like there is going to be one.
Planning. Pretty calm, quiet, relaxing Spice Lounge. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I love doing the show. I love doing the show with Erica. I love that you guys let me be my crazy self when I make commentary on stuff that's going on. I just like to have fun, and so glad that you guys are here with us tonight. Let's see. As for myself, I always ask what day it is. Yeah, I'll be doing a live stream from Universal tomorrow. There's the Sensational the Sensational water show and everything. I want to get a better spot so we can go and see that. Might take a bus ride over to one of the hotels. We're gonna have to see what's going on. So stay posted. That'll be up there. Thursday, I will be on Dadman Walking 55's channel. We're just gonna do like a little chat. So it'll be over his channel on Thursday, I believe it. I think it's at 8:00. I'll have to double check, but I think it's at 8:00. And Friday, 6:00, I'll be on Paulie's show. We're going to be talking again about Sinners. So he's going to be there. Cameron's going to be there. And actually, Cameron's going to be on the Spice Lounge next week. Cameron Pasha, Hollywood Insider, good friend of mine, good friend of the channel. So he's going to be here next week. Do Helios. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about that. I want to go over and see the hotels. And Friday, dang it, 8:30 on Friday, community quiplash. All right. Bring your best quips. Channel members get first crack at the panel, and of course, the audience weighs in as well. It's a channel favorite. Gonna have fun playing that.
Recap. playing Quiplash. I think we tried in our youth group.
Oh,
And
so
I
you
totally
haven't
brain dumped it.
oh,
I
you
have no
haven't
clue.
played it before. It's like crazy Mad Libs. I have to put the family filter on the questions, but I can't control what everyone else puts in it. So, the answers. Okay, Tom. But yeah, it's one of the favorite games on my channel, playing like Quiplash. It is too funny. It's like Cards Against Humanity. Yeah, I'm gonna see if my sister can join too, because if you think my responses are wild, hers are even better. So she'll play with
Oh,
us, hopefully.
we get siblings that can, like, play off of each other. That's when it gets fun.
Mhm.
That's when it gets
Sometimes Camera Girl drops in, and that really makes it. Well, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so, so, so very much for being here. Wow, I really went over really what I had planned to, but
Yeah.
again, so glad you guys are here. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, wherever you are. And of course, we will see you all next time. Bye.
All right, everyone. Let's tidy things up.
Autobots, start your engines!
Not under the rug.
We'll keep singing without fail. Otherwise, we'd spoil it.
Ready, Prime? Let's roll.
Hosing down the garbage pail and scrubbing up the toilet. Ooh.
That's all, folks.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.